All in readiness, the umpire's got the ball aloft. Your first caller here on 5 RPH Football will be the doyen of football commentators in South Australia, courtesy of Angus Security, none other than Dennis Brown.
Okay, the umpire holds the ball aloft. It's Cranston up against Paul Scholar for the Eagles. What a magnificent bounce. Almost brought rain. Cranston got the fist of the ball taken by Bode. Quickly up inside the 50 for the Tigers. At the back, here's a chance around the body for the Tigers. There goes Josh Marty in the square almost. Big Doldig overran the ball and coming through is Hopwood, I think it was, with the footy. He'll bring it out here to the half-back flank, taken by Matthew Slade. His kick's a shocker. Grabbed it in actual fact. Taken now by Chris Gown. Gets it over to Steinburner. He's at centre wing with a drop punt up towards half forward. Players set themselves. Coming across the face of the pack was Mules. He'll get the ball out the back. Gives it to his teammate there in, I think it was Butcher now into the centre. Off hands, it's all the Tigers though. It's a series of handballs. Or Colbert caught without the footy, or caught with the footy, I should say. Goes in and gets it again. Fell to the ground and handball to the forward. Great work there by Colbert. Bode got rid of his opponent. Chance for backward if he can pick it up. Oh, met high. And he'll take, no, said the umpire. You
in the back.
Got to be a free kick, surely, to the Tigers.
It was great play back here at half-back by Colbert. He had to go back into the flight of the ball. He knew he was going to get crunched, but thumped the ball on, and they got it through the midfield. The ball's ended up with the Glenelg free kick, and that player there is William Neely. He's going to kick from around about 52 metres. He's probably half a chance from that distance with the wind. So Neely to come in now, lining up from 48 metres. The kick's on its way. It's not going to make the distance. It's going to land in the goal square. Up they go. High pack settles. Punt through for the first score on the board. And it is a minor score to the Tigers. One straight point. They lead Centrals yet to score. And on the PDK time clock, it is... No, Grand Central time clock, I should say. Just gone 2 minutes of play.
Adams Fatala with the kicking duties this afternoon for the Bulldogs. Assesses his options, heads right down the middle of the ground, looking out there for Sebenala. Comes out the back of the pack. Sebenala gets it up, hand passes onto a teammate. The Doggies are running. Hopwood has to dive around a Glenelg, finds it to Steinburner. Steinburner now on the centre of the ground, trying to run around his opponent. Does so now. Heads towards half forward, goes over the head of the intended recipient. I think that's Cochrane. He runs over the top of the ball. Butcher in the long sleeve Guernsey picks it up. A high hand pass across now to his teammate, and Glenelg away down the centre wing, and a good strong mark there taken by Heath Colbert. He gets the base on pretty quickly. He's got an open player at half forward. That is Ryan Willits. He is a man mountain. Hand passes back, doesn't meet the target. Bird has to go and get it. 3 Bulldogs to beat. Does so. Gets it back to Colbert. Back on centre wing. He centres it up and he finds Bryce Gibbs inside the centre square. 70 out from goal. Sends it inside 50, looking for goal to get the back. He beat his opponent, couldn't bring it back down. A race for the football. Mahoney and Bello. Mahoney picks it up for Backwell. He shoots and he gets the goal. The Bays, the first shot as well this afternoon. It's Glenelg 1-1-7. The Doggies yet to score.
It was great usage of the ball from half-back line. They just kept control of the ball. They worked the ball down to half-forward again. And then the play there, Doldig probably was unfortunate not to take the mark and lining up for a goal himself, but he had presence of mind to knock it over to his teammate who was running past. He got the handball, that was Marty. He got the handball over to a flat-footed Backwell. He had the players coming at him, but he just snapped surely for the Tigers' first goal. Good play by the Tigers, good PDK highlight, a good start to this game for the Tigers.
Up the ball goes in the centre. Scholar and taps it straight down to Chris Gowan, who runs away with the ball now. The lead is on from Cowan, and Cowan takes the mark. Right on the 50, half-forward flank, grandstand side for the Doggies.
Yes, he's going to kick into that breeze, and one would suggest that the distance might be a little bit hard for him, but Luke Cowan, the state performer, he's kicked 9 goals, 6 thus far this season. He's going to kick from around about right on 50, kicking to the school end, or the scoreboard end. And when you read the scoreboard, they haven't touched it at this stage, have the Tigers, so... In he comes now. The kick is on its way. It's a long kick too. It's going to go straight through the middle. What a magnificent kick. That's travelled 55 metres. A great PDK highlight for Central District. Cowan has kicked his first on the scoreboard. It is Central District's 1 goal. They trail the Eagles 1-1-7. And courtesy of Grand Central, we've played 5 minutes of this first and opening quarter. Entertaining football thus far here at the Bay.
Yeah, spot on, Smith. It's been a great game so far. It's gone up and down the ground. It's been pretty open. We've seen some good skills so far. And Cowan, look, as I said, surprised he made the state squad, but he impressed, and he's carried that forward into the opening few minutes here at the Bay. 1 point the difference. The home side in front. Round 10 of the SANFLB Active League. Again, a huge bounce. Scholar goes underneath it. Willis with the tap. Colbert with a hand pass back. Backwell now with a hand pass. Puts his player under pressure. I think that was
free
him.
Kick.
And umpires found a free kick, and that will be. Then it's William Neely actually getting his second free of the afternoon. Goes across the ground, finds Bode on the edge of the centre square. He takes the mark. He's 70 out. Assesses the option. There's players running about. It's like an ant farm down there at the moment. Still taking his time, trying to find the open player, waiting for a gap to open up. Nothing doing at the moment. Clock is ticking. He's gone to the Matthew Lloyd School of goal shooting. Now heads for the pocket. 2-on-1 contest. Bulldogs. That was Fisher who set himself. Goes to the back of the plaque. Glenelg player first, but he's tackled straight away.
In the back.
Tackled unfairly, and it will be a Glenelg shot at goal from the boundary line, right in the pocket there by the side street gate. And chance for Glenelg to add to their score, and kicking for goal will be the para-listed player, Josh Marnie.
Yeah, Josh Marnie from around about 35 metres out. Pretty acute angle, but not a difficult angle with the breeze blowing the way. It is straight down the middle, so you think he'd just lob it up into the top of the square and let the breeze take it through. He's not quite done. He's tried to guide it through, and another minor score has registered. We often say that it's better to kick through the ball, and the breeze would have done the rest for you. So the Tigers now 1-2-8. They lead Central's 1 straight goal 6 on the scoreboard, and another PDK highlight.
Yeah, should have aimed for the far goal post then, Smitty, and I think the breeze would have brought it back. There's Fatala's kick to the outer side half-back flank. Hopwood makes good position, takes the mark just inside the boundary line, right on the apex of the 50-metre mark. He'll chip it back inboard to Tyson Hay. Still inside the defensive 50. Goes short. There's doggies everywhere. One of those is Chris Gowns, I think, it's got the footy. Or is it Fatala? I'm not sure who is out there, but he got the footy anyway. He goes short. It's a shocker intercepted there by Gibbs. It was for the Bays. He bangs it back inside 50. Dolding running back with his strength. Too much strength for his opponent on that occasion. And big Matthew Dolding will line up and have a shot from only about 20 metres out.
It was good presence of mind by Bryce Gibbs there, showing a lot of maturity for a youngster. He got in between the two Centrals players, read the kick better than anybody, turned around and saw Dolding running into the space, put it up to him, and Dolding didn't let him out. And he comes back now 20 metres out, directly in front. He doesn't miss those, and he hasn't. And the Tigers have got their second. They go to 2 goals 2. They are 14. They lead Central District's 1 straight goal. The Glenelg side are kicking with a strong breeze, though, which is about worth probably 4 to 5 at this stage when you look at the windsock DB. And I must admit, though, one thing I said to my little boy Bailey this morning, he's only 3, I said, who do you barrack for? You know, he said, almost broke my heart. The Bulldogs.
Well, there you go.
It broke my heart. I thought, oh, no.
Well, he probably had a gutful of you mentioned it, sir, in his 3 years, mate.
It's because of Fuzzy. Fuzzy's a Bulldog supporter.
Okay, but I'll tell you what.
He obviously watched the grand final.
You reckon the breeze is worth 4 or 5, but Luke Cowan made a mockery of that breeze, didn't he, Phil?
Absolutely. Scholar gets the tap down. The Central's player is wrapped up in a tiger sandwich, still in that tea saucer of the centre circle.
But one thing about Luke Cowan, guys, is he is a big kick of the football. So, you know, you'd back him in from inside the centre square here, going with the breeze.
Yeah, aimed at just away to the right, too, allowed for the breeze.
Umpire throws it up. Scholar gets the ball down. Chris Gowans puts his body on the line. And, well, for the first time, there's starting a bit of a scrum developing, and we will have a tertiary ball up here. And the ball's moved all of about 3 metres in the last minute or so. Umpire throws it up again. This time a big thump down, goes straight to the Glenelg player, kicks it inside forward, 50. It's a 1-on-1 contest, but the Central player pretty much did it unopposed, and I think that might be off the hide opposed to Willett.
Now, Willett's been given a 25-metre penalty against him because the player ran across the mark.
Why the player ran off the mark? Why wasn't it play on immediately?
Well, he can't. What he can't do is the Willets can't run to the player until the umpire says it's play on.
Okay, the ball up towards half-forward flank, off hands there. A hurried kick there. Didn't go anywhere from the Bulldogs. Gone straight up in the air. In fact, big pack of players, including Scholar was there. Out came the Tigers with the ball. Fisher was the player. Got it over to Gills. Not Gills, it was Ben Moore. Trying to go in and pick up the football now is the Tigers there. And that was Panozzo. Panozzo out to the half-back flank to Butcher. Butcher inside the defensive 50. Got Willie nearly loose, but the kick was a Barry Crocker. And it's gone out of bounds on the sitting ball. Around about, 75 metres from goal on the outer side.
Centrals to bring the ball back in now. They currently trail this one by 8 points, 2-2 to 1-0 here on the scoreboard. Played about 10 minutes thanks to Grand Central. The kick inside forward 50. Shell trying to get to the ball. Central's player in front though, and that is a Bulldogs mark. And Quentin Graham, who was named as a defender, is going to shoot for the Doggies' second goal. Darryl.
Yes, he played, normally plays across half-back line or the back pocket, does Quentin Graham. We saw him play an absolute great game in a grand final a couple of years ago. He's now having a shot on goal. Will kick from around about 40 metres out, 45-degree angle, going to the school end. The kick's on its way. The kick is going through. It has made the distance. Let's wait on the goal umpire. He says it's okay. Glenelg have got their second. They still trail by 2 points. Centrals have got their second, I should say. Glenelg 2 goals, 2-14. They lead Centrals 2 straight goals, 12. And courtesy of Grand Central, we've played just over 10 minutes of this first quarter. Central's kicking into the breeze have got 2 on the board, DB.
And already a PDK highlight, 2 of them for those goals against the Nugget Breeze here. So, yeah, there are those important goals against the breeze as the umpire is about to bounce the ball in the centre. Up she rides. Tell you what, he can bounce a footy. This bloke, the AFL umpire can take a leap out of his book, and the Central District side goes forward, comes to Fisher. Fisher gets the handball over to Willie Neely. Willie Neely's going the wrong way, and there's a free kick going to come back to Fisher, I think.
Yep.
For something that happened
now, realistically,
after the game.
guys, why isn't that actually play on? Glenelg have got the ball centre wing grandstand side, and it was Backwell who had the ball. I think advantage rules.
I think the umpire thought Centrals had it because they were going the other way. As the ball comes up towards the half-forward flank, beautifully read off hands by Bode to Mills. Mills will tip it over. That's a magnificent kick to Culprit. A PDK highlight of ever I saw one. Darryl Smith, what perfect placement was that little Moby Dick?
It was absolutely fantastic, and the player running on it was Heath Colpert. He had to go with it. He had the player coming at him, showed great courage. Now Colpert's got to line up for goal. 45-degree angle, around about 30 metres out. Now Colpert has kicked thus far this season, has kicked 6 goals, 5. So he's lining up now for his first shot on the goal of the day. Beautiful kick, no problems there. The PDK highlights are running hot here at the Bay Oval. 2 great plays there. Central District 2 straight goals, trailing the Tigers 3-2-20. And we'll go quickly back to the studios thanks to Black and White Trucks Removals. Let's move it right around the ground.
Thanks, Smithy. Early days in both SANFL games. West Adelaide 1-4-10 leading Port 1-1-7. North Adelaide 1 straight 6 leading South 2 behind. And in the 2 games in the AFL, Collingwood 8-1 leading Hawthorn 4-3 and Freo 7-3 leading Geelong 5-5. Back to the boys.
Been an action-packed day here at Glenelg, and we've only played 12 minutes of the first quarter. Again, a huge bounce brought down the ground there by Cranston. Soccer kick forward for the Tigers. The hand pass to Gibbs. He's 55 out. He's going to go long under pressure. And what does it sails over? Glenelg have kicked 2 in a minute. They go to 4-2-26. Central's 2 straight 12, and the Tigers have come to play this afternoon.
Oh, great play again. Bryce James had presence of mind there that to step past his opponent. 49 metres out was the play. So Bryce Gibbs would have been a good 53, 54 metres out. 1 step, bang, great kick with the breeze. The Glenelg side at the moment using the breeze far better.
It was the 1 step under pressure from the Central's defenders coming fast.
And the good thing to see about that was about a dozen Glenelg players ran to congratulate Gibbs with that great goal. Down goes the bounce again, and Cranston got his hand to it. Goller went up at before acceptance again, but the Doggies will come away through Steinburner. He breaks away and drop punts one up inside 50. Cowan's got the leap from behind in front. Sherwood almost down to Bellow. Oh, Sherwood does well to recover. Breaks away onto the left boot. Will bring it towards centre wing. Bode has back royal support. He gathers in the footy with Bode. He's right on the boundary line. Hooks it around his body in actual fact. Bounces up towards the 50. Taking the ball is Sipanala. He's the tackle to the ground with the ball underneath him. The umpire says, give it to me, boys. I'll bounce it just on the 50 for the Bays.
Good work again by Bryce Gibbs there. He waited until Sipanala got the ball. He knew he was too big to go against Sipanala. Waited till he got it and then tackled him perfectly. Well done to the young man.
Inside 50s, 8-4 favouring the Tigers. They've had the press opening quarter. They get the tap down. Bode on the run. Hay gets the tackle. Bode can get the hand pass across to his teammate, the captain, and more. Moore's shot is just awry.
Needed to be a goal.
And, gee, wouldn't that have lifted the crowd here at the Glenelg Oval? It's behind the Tigers, 4-3-27. Central's 2 goals straight. But, gee, the ruck combination, Cranston and Willett, the Glenelg are getting first hand of the football. And at the moment, Darryl will win the clearances.
They certainly are in the centre clearances, doing it very well out of the ruck setup.
Right, the kick back from Twitala was a good one and thumped away, though. Beautifully taken by the Tigers. Comes from Fisher looking for Backwell. Backwell somehow gets it. A lightning handball to Colford. It was too quick and he couldn't gather it in. Gives it back to Billy Neely. Neely around the body and he's found Backwell, who's made a lot of space. He was actually in that contest. Got rid of the footy and then has run to the flank. and has taken the mark up against the boundary line just inside the 50.
Centrals are looking very slow in defence. A lot of open Tiger players inside forward 50 at the moment.
Brett Backwell, 7-5 thus far this season. He's already kicked one today, so he's coming in now from 48 metres. The kick's on its way. It is another goal to the Tigers. They are running hot down here at the Bay Oval. They've kicked their fifth. He's got his second, and that's 5 goals, 3, 33. Opening up a little bit of a break here, and Central's 2 straight goals. Grand Central tells us we played 15 minutes of this first quarter. The way things are going, DB, the Tigers wouldn't want this quarter to end.
Bit like that game in 30 years ago, mate. They didn't want that game to end
Well,
either.
I'll tell you what, they're on pace at the moment.
Oh,
Well, 15.
come on, Phil.
5 goals. Yeah, I know. 5 goals kicked in 15 minutes. Fantastic effort by Glenelg. And don't forget, last couple of years, Glenelg have really struggled in attack, but it's been a different story this year. Again, a huge high bounce. Scholar gets the tap, but again, Glenelg with the clearance. Bringing it out there was Marnie. The kick forward now, I think that was by the captain and Moore. Off the height under the ball, can't bring the mark in. Gets it out to his teammate, trying to run away. Brings to Hopwood. He's got a bit of running room now. Gets it away to Swatala, and he's got space to take a bounce at defensive 50. He's brought it down the grandstand side. Kicks it forward. Shell's come a long way forward to get a kick. Gets a little thump out there, a push out by Rogers. He's good enough to get the ball, struggling opponent. Get the hand pass away to Butchers. Butchers kick, hits his teammate on the bounce, comes back to Butcher. Quick hand pass to Fisher, runs away from Bello. Kicks it inside forward 50. The pack sets themselves 2-1 in favour of the Bulldogs, and Quentin Graham takes the mark.
Yes, Graham now quickly to the outer side half-back flank. The mark there taken by Arnott. Gets it back to Hopwood. Hopwood goes over the top. He gives it to his player there in McCabe. Oh, terrific tackle there. Forces Biscuits Arnott over the boundary line with the footy after he got it back there from Hopwood. And there'll be a boundary throw in just outside the 50 on the outer side for the Bays. Certainly come to play, there's no doubt about that. And the Doggies just a little bit sluggish at the moment as the ball is tossed back in. Big men to do battle. In there is Mackenzie, comes down to Bello. Bello around the body, up towards the half-back flank. Leading in the race for the ball was Marnie ahead of Chris Gowns, and it beats both players over the boundary line for a throw-in.
One thing Roy Laird and the Central District side pride themselves on is their attack on the ball and their ability to handle pressure. There was a player in the Central side in that last passage of play that actually ducked the chutney, and Roy Laird would hate to see that.
Marco Bella playing ruckman, gets the quick kick away again towards the boundary line. Moore leads the race opposed to Arnott. Boundary line wins that one. So the Centrals have gained about 15 metres. Will be a throw in just their side on centre wing out of side, and Glenelg have a 21-point lead thanks to Grand Central. 17 minutes gone of this, the opening quarter, thanks to our Angus Securities, the RPH game of the day. Cranston taps it down. There's a Glenelg player who's absolutely put on the siege by the Gowans. No free kick there. Comes out to Pinozzo. To more, as I said, Glenelg are winning the clearances here at the moment. Hay meets the grubber kick. Escorts it over the boundary line, and again, another throw-in on centre wing.
Yeah, the Central side did make a change there too. They had Mackenzie on, and the player that came off, I think, was Scholar, yep.
Okay, the boundary throw-in, not the best one I've ever seen, but the Doggies will capitalise. The Hopwood gets a hurried kick off the inset over the boot, out there looking for his teammate in Kellett it was. Kellett, the handball missed its target, and consequently the ball back over the boundary line for another throw-in. Between centre wing and half forward, outer side for the Doggies. Allison about to come on, and coming off is the player there for the Doggies in David Mitchell. Umpire throws the ball back in. Mackenzie taps it down with the left hand, still in contention. Ben Moore picks it up. In fact, it's Colford. Colford gets it now over towards Ben Moore, who will run onto it inside the boundary line. Tried to get the kick away, but in doing so has put it over the boundary line on the sitting ball for a free kick for the Doggies.
Paul Allison on for the Tigers.
Anyway, the quick comes in, finds Mackenzie. Still been on that centre wing for. He's going to throw the Doggies forward. They need to get some scores on the board. The kick falls short. Players going in hard for it. They think that might have been Bella. Get the quick hand pass away, but it's Tigers with the numbers. They're just pushing the ball forward, not giving Centrals any space. Out of the clearance, Gowans gets it to Slade. Slade slung, manages to kick it away straight to Glenelg player. He fumbles, comes to Bello. Bello, the quick hand pass across. They're trying to do it yard by yard along that boundary line. They've got it to half forward, 55 metres out from goal.
Kane officer on for Centrals, and the player coming off was Luke McCabe.
So Central Districts, they haven't had the greatest of quarters here, just inside 56 times. Glenelg, by my count, about 13. Shell going up in the ruck. Both teams missed it completely. Aerial ping-pong at the moment. Mule's good enough to get the hand pass to his teammate. Now the Bays are away. Colfer gets the hand pass to Fisher. Fisher going long towards centre half forward. Doldig comes out. Goes to the back of the pack. Goldie trying to run on. He's opposed by Officer. Doldig tackled by Officer. I don't know if he had the ball quick enough to get it on the boundary line. Hand passes it back inboard. Centrals have the number. They go towards Glenelg's goal square. Off the Hyde has it now, and they will switch play. Brings it to Arnott. Fast defending. I think that was Butcher. And there in the Centrals run out of defence. It'll be a throw-in. Half-forward flank of the Tigers.
Yeah, Arnott was sitting underneath the ball there, DB. Couldn't do anything about it. The kick was just hanging in the air, and that allowed Butcher to come in and thump the ball to the boundary line.
Yeah, well, Steinberner was the player that kicked it, and I mean, he did the right thing because at that stage his teammate was loose, but he made tremendous ground, did Butcher. Anyway, the ball now with Gibbs, who bred it well off the pack from that boundary throwing up inside the 50 at the back, taken by Tibanala. He goes backward, gives it now to Officer, is on the ground, as you mentioned a moment ago, Smitty. He'll kick it across goal to Hopwood. Not a good kick, but Hopwood's good enough to get it. He'll chip it short now, looking for McKenzie. McKenzie still inside the defensive 50. On the grandstand, takes the mark.
Cranston off and Andrews on.
They're playing very strange footy at the moment. The Doggies, they go back inside the defensive 50. Finally now the handball out wide. It's now with the Quinton Graham, who'll go inboard again. He gives it over the top now to Off to Hyde. Off to Hyde at centre wing for the Doggies. Goes bang with a drop punt up inside the 50. The long lead is there from Shell. Hotly pressed by Sherwood. Shell gets it back to Bello. Bello tries to get away. Gets the handball out here. They're everywhere. Cochrane now back to Shell. Shell's got a couple of Doggies loose in the centre. One of those is Evil Roy Slade, who takes the mark, comes around onto the right boot, kips a high ball now. He's looking for Cowan, playing, using the body well. There was a Glenelg defender who came to Mills to Fisher. Fisher now sinks the slipper up towards the centre of the ground. Up they fly. Oh, inside player will get the free kick. He had his eyes on the footy. That player was Josh Marnie and got grabbed high.
Well, Centrals went dot to dot, took the scenic route from their goals into forward 50. Glenelg, as soon as they got the ball straight down the middle. Marnie with the kick. There's his teammate there and more. The captain has an open player in the pocket who's trying to run onto the ball. That's Pinozzo running out hard football there from Stevenala. He made sure Centrals won that contest, took it out of bounds. It'll be a throw in 50 out.
Play there by the Glenelg side. They've been going down the centre of the corridor the whole time. Then they went to the deep in the pocket. You'd wonder why, when they were probably only one tick away from scoring a goal.
Well, they had Pinozzo open. If he'd have hit him on the chest, it would have been a shot on goal. From the bottom of the pack, players over the ball now. It's a big one to get because at the moment Glenelg are playing the better football. Centrals need to respond. They get the quick kick away. It's landed in front of McKenzie. Is he given away a free or paid the mark? Doesn't matter. Willits will have the ball. He's 70 metres out from goal. Too far away to score even with this win this afternoon, but will give chance for Glenelg to go into attack once again.
To bother the scorers at all in his career thus far. Naught, but he's going to be too far out to score from here, DB.
Well, he doesn't think so. He's lining it up.
Just kicking the league for all we know. We'll find out as he puts a drop punt now to lob right up into the square. Big pack of players set themselves. Couple of bays went up. Not a lot of them down. The ball came to a Doggy defender and Off to Hyde. The ball still in contention. Biscuits Arnott had it momentarily. The Tigers have got a chance. Gibbs is in there. He got tripped. Billy Neely also now coming away as Gowan. Chris Gowan's now for the Doggy. Gets it over to Swatala inside the defensive 50. Has time to have a couple of bounces. He's confronted by Fisher. Gets the handball. Oh, great work there by the Tigers in two occasions there. Firstly, it was Fisher who did the chasing, and Ben Mills wrapped up Steinberner like, a sausage at the butcher shop, and there'll be a ball up a centre wing on the grandstand side.
70 metres out from goal. McKenzie deals with Andrews, who's in ruck at the moment, but no one can get the clearance.
That handball there from Swatala was to the stationary body, so it's always going to be difficult when you've got a handball to someone who's flat-footed. The player running in and putting the tackle on him, and it was never going to get away from Ben Mules, so silly play by the Doggies. Yeah,
it's a bit hard to go from 0 to 100 in a couple of seconds when the defenders, you want to be on the run when you get the handball. Anyway, tap comes down again. Glenelg reading the play a bit better. Mules had it. He sat upon pretty quickly. And Court holding the ball.
Good decision. He jumped in the air, tried to break the tackle. Good decision by the umpire.
Comes to Bello now. He kicks it up towards half forward, looking there for Symes. Comes to the bottom of the pack. Symes and Cochrane fighting over the ball. Symes has got it. Fisher is taking in for a ride. Officer now gets it off the pack, and umpire had blown the whistle and bowled it up before Officer clear out.
McKenzie off for the Doggies, and coming on is Scholar.
Okay, bounce down inside the centre square. Down it goes. Big men do battle. Scholar got the tap down to Chris Gowns. Oh, he somehow got a handball over to Bello, but they've lost it momentarily. The Tigers go in again. Bottom of the pack, the footy. Umpire telling him to get it out. Came out to Kellett. Kellett got now to Cochrane. Cochrane whip it back out to Biscuits Arnott on the left boot. Now the lead is on from Shell, being hung onto with one arm. Umpire allows it to go on as it comes out the back to Panozzo. Panozzo now has time to have a bounce. He's still in the defensive 50. Goes short.
Oh, good play.
Kick is a beauty to Fisher. Fisher now gives it over to Butcher. Butcher to Colford. Colford back to Butcher on the old 1-2 to Backle. Backle in turned on nearly. This is great footy by the Tigers. Inside the 50. The Darryl Smith. You wouldn't see any better football than that if you went from here to China.
No, they went from coast to coast, didn't they? Great play. The doggies seem a bit flat-footed at the moment, and the use of the handball has been absolutely fantastic. A lot of people, supporters, will say too much handball is no good, but it's just when it's badly executed. The Tigers didn't do a bad handball there. It's ended up now, and Doldy is coming in for his second shot on goal. The kick is on it. He's happy with it. The crowd happy with it. He's got his second, and the Tigers have got their sixth. They go to 6 goals, 3-39. Central's 2 straight goals, 12. And let's go back to Studio Tennessee of Black and White Trucks and Removals. Let's move it right with Black and White.
Thanks, Smithy. Yes, thanks to Black and White Trucks and Removals in the SANFL games. West 3-6 leading Port 2-2. South 3-2 trailing North 3-3. And in the AFL, just gone half-time at the MCG, Collingwood 8-3 leading Hawthorn 7-5. And just before half-time at Skilled Stadium, Geelong 7-7 leading Freo 7-5. Back to the boys.
Tigers have got this one at the moment by 27 points. 6-3 to 2 straight. Central's looking a little bit shell-shocked at the moment. Arnott goes for the ball. Bode rides him off. Comes to Hay. Is tackled after he kicked. That'll be a free downfield to be taken by Kellett. Kellett 70 out. Wants to get the Bulldogs on quickly. Does so now. The low kick to Shell on the lead.
Yeah, bad play.
And that is Central District's best forward sortie of the game. Done thanks to some undisciplined work by the Glenelg midfielder. And now Daniel Sherrill will have his first shot on goal this afternoon.
He certainly will. The indiscretion was done by young Adam Fisher, and you just don't need to do that sort of stuff. I mean, if you're going to throw someone to the ground, you want to hurt them. The player bounced back up straight away. Daniel Shell now lining up 15 metres out. The kick's on its way. It has just faded away with the breeze for a minor score. So the first point on the board to the Doggies. They go to 2 goals, 1-13. Still trailing the Glenelg side 6-3-39. Black and White taxi trucks around the grass a little bit later on.
Okay, the player now, Sherwood, I think it was. No, it wasn't Sherwood. Kicks it back here, picked up by Biscuits Arnott. The lead is on from Cowan. There's a long lead. Coming out in front now is Sherwood. He thought about handballing it, but ran out over the boundary line with the ball in his possession. There'll be a boundary throw-in just inside the 50. Grandstand side the school end. That's the end the Doggies are kicking to as the boundary umpire about to toss it back in. Big men to do battle. Came back Cowan, took the ball out of the air, somehow evaded 2 opponents, kicked around the body towards full forward, and the ball will go out of bounds in the left full forward pocket. It went straight across the face for a boundary throw-in.
Just got carried with the breeze here, didn't it? Just kept going and going towards the scoreboard end. The Grand Central time clock, 20 minutes gone of this first quarter.
Umpire throws it in right next to Glenelg behind post. Scoreboard side, Shell does the rock work. Late at the bottom of the pack, Haddon lost it. He set upon it pretty quickly. Glenelg trying to concede the behind with the long handball. That's what they've done. So Centrals go to 2-2-14. Glenelg 6-3-39. At the moment, a 25-point lead to the Tigers, looking for a hat-trick of wins. Something that they did in the final few rounds of 2004. Well, the kick comes in now. It's a long kick towards the outer side. Andrews versus Scholar. It's brought down. Who can set on it? 55 out from goal. Players going in hard. Hasn't come loose as yet. The umpire letting it go. Let the players sort it out. But I think that's going to be tricky. And the umpire says, yep, it's mine, folks. Will be a ball up. 55 out. Central's goal.
We're going to have any hope to win this game. They just cannot concede another goal at the moment. They've got to hang on until quarter time. They've played some good football.
Okay, Bello now with the ball. Will bang it again inside 50. The whistle has gone, though. And it'll come back, and not too sure what's happening here. It's going to come back to the Doggies, is it?
Yep.
Okay.
Half forward flank, outer side of the ground.
Is it Bello that's going to take the kick, is it?
I don't think so.
Officer.
Officer it is it? Okay, Officer now with the footy. Still outside 50, goes bang. There looking for Shell, who gets into the air, but out the back. Oh, Chris Gowns almost read it, but then overran the footy. Colbert somehow got the ball out, trying to look for Sherwood. The ball still at the bottom of the pack. Those stacks on the mill. Player puts his hand up. I want to leave the room. The umpire said, wait till quarter time, and then you can go and have a high little devil. I'm going to bounce it about 40 metres out from goal.
Yeah, we've seen Slade and Gowans, two veterans of the side, fumble the ball when they had it in their possession inside forward 50.
And down goes the bounce again. Shell will come from the side. A big thump, though, only as far as Sherwood, who belted it back inside. Taken by Cowan to Kellett. Kellett there looking for Arnott. And the whistle's gone again. And all of a sudden, a couple of free kicks going the doggies' way. So the Bays now just a little bit careless in defence. And this will allow Quentin Graham to have a shot at goal from about right on 50. No, he goes short and finds Biscuit Arnott, but didn't gain anything because he's still going to have to kick from just outside 50.
Yeah, so Arnott right outside 50. He's going to go in long. He says, no, just drops it at the top of the square, hoping for Shell to mark the ball. He's done good ruck work, good play by Rod. And there goes the siren to end the first quarter. A good quarter of football for the Tigers. They lead 6 goals, 3-39. Central District's 2 goals, 2-14. Goal scorers for the Tigers. Backwiller's got 2, also 2 to Matthew Doldig, and singles to Heath Colpert and Bryce Gibbs. For the Central side, the Doggies is a fixed interest specialist. If you've got some money to invest, give Angus Securities a call. Black and white trucks and removals. No job is too big or too small. Small to large furniture vans. Furniture removals from one piece of furniture to full house removals. A full range of taxi trucks. Also, Grand Central, the place to be in the north, and PDK Financial and Accountants.
Up goes the footy, the ball down the ground, immediately taken by Chris Gowns for the Doggies. Bombs it up inside 50, out on the lead is Cowan. Cowan takes the mark. And this is just what the Doggies need to start this second quarter, boys. A sausage roll inside the first minute.
Yeah, it certainly does. Again, Chris Gowns getting the ball out of the centre. We see how important it is to get the ball out of the centre quickly into your forward structure. Luke Cowan playing in front, juggled the mark, and now we'll go back and kick from around about 50 metres. Easily will make the distance. We've seen him kick 55 metres into the breeze, so he'll make the distance, no problems at all. The kick's on its way now. The goal umpire is moving just a little bit to the right, and he says that is a minor score. So first score on the board to the Doggies, and that is a point. So Central's now 2 goals, 3-15, still trailing the Tigers 6-3-39. You're on 5 RPH football with Phil Herden.
Short kick in from the Tigers finds Butcher in the back pocket. Far side. He's going to kick it long downfield towards centre wing. From the front of the pack, looks like Central District through Mackenzie had it, but couldn't bring it down. In there fighting hard was nearly kept the ball. He's still trying to get rid of it. He managed to do so. Sibanala trying to run onto it. Willet's trying to get him and does so, brings him to ground. Comes the Scholar, who handballs in hope. Lands in a Central's player under pressure, whose kick is smothered. Now Glenelg with the numbers. Gibbs has got it. He gets it to a teammate, and suddenly that was Mules with the kick. Brings him to the centre ground. Hard ball to get. Glenelg tap it forward. Smart work there. Backwell trying to run onto it. He's under pressure. Coming through now is Cochrane. He gets the hand pass to Hay. Intercepted by Backwell. Taps it forward. Cochrane able to get it back. It's fumbleitis at the moment. Osterheid has it. He lost it. It's slowly going towards Glenelg's goal. Cochrane has it and concedes the kick from 15 out. Goes for the behind. And Central District under siege.
Did you see what I saw then?
Yes, I did actually on that occasion. But anyway, Hay will bring the ball back in. Goes short. Oh, almost came unstuck. But getting in between a couple of players to take the mark was Swatala. He'll go to the outer side to Hopwood, who's taken the mark. Half-back flank outer side for the Doggies. He'll kick it short. Running onto it is Kellett to take the mark in the true centre wing position on the outer side for the Doggies. He goes bang with the right drop punt there, looking for Cowan. A big leap in front. The ball through his hands, though. Coming in is Cranston. He got it over to Gibbs. Gibbs around the body. Up towards centre wing. Oh, up into the air. A terrific mark there. Trying to pick up the player.
Might be Rogers.
Was it Rogers who took the grab? That was a spectacular mark. He'll chip it short, but it's... Oh, no! I thought it was going to be intercepted by Bello to Fisher. Fisher somehow gets loose, got legs as he fell to the ground. The advantage has been paid. That's good umpiring as it comes to Colbert. Colbert now will bring it inboard to Billy Neely. Billy Neely now will go looking for Butcher, who's created the space. Almost took a amazing one-handed mark. Butcher had it taken off him by Hay. He's run into trouble, gets the handball to Graham. Graham thought about a handball and kicked around the body, but he kicked it straight down the throat to Moore, who plays on to Panozzo. Panozzo with pace, breaks away and lets fly with a drop punt going into the square. And he put it through for a goal of the Tigers against the Tide. What a great start in the quarter for them. They go to 7 goals, 4-46. The Doggies 2-3-45.
The PDK highlight in all of that fact was the Tigers' second and third efforts when the ball hit the ground. Tyson Hayes stole the ball from Butcher. He went back in there with his second effort and forced the error. The kick had to come around the body. It went to actual Mules it was, who then got it over to the long kick in for Willett, who marked in the goal square, turned around, open goal. Good play by the Tigers.
31-point lead, biggest of the match. Glenelg with the opening goal of the second quarter. The rock duel is neutral. Cranston taps it forward. Glenelg now kicking it forward through Nearly. Willett sets himself. Sibanala gets the tap around. Now he sends it forward. In there is Steinberner now, as opposed to Culper. Gets it back there to Ofterhide. He will kick it down the centre wing. One-on-one contest on the wing. Mules out-pointed there and a strong mark. And I think that's Officer. Oh, no, it's Kellett. Great one-on-one win there. Central Districts need some highlights at the moment. A lot of work to do. They're over 5 goals down. Early stages of this, the second quarter at Glenelg. Kellett now decides to head for the hot spot. 38. Shell breaks free. Can't bring in the mark. It's at ground level. Hopwood had it. Hit high. No free kick comes to Cochrane, who snaps the top of the goal. And just to the right, behind for the Doggies. They go to 2-4-16. Can't take a trick at the moment. Glenelg got 7-4-46. It's 5 goal straight lead to the Tigers.
Panozzo to bring the ball in for the Tigers. What will he do? Go short, and filling in the spot there is Fisher, Adam Fisher for the Tigers. He'll bring it to the back pocket and will be marked by Sherwood.
I was just going to say, one of the PDK highlights was Sherwood's spoil then on Shell. Shell looked like he had the mark all set and ready to go, but Sherwood was able just to get his hand through and under Shell's arm and spoil the ball. Great work.
Great bit of umpiring there. It was a free kick to the Tigers. The umpire paid advantage, but the player fumbled, so he brought the ball back. Great umpiring. The ball is almost marked. That would have been a spectacular mark. Should have been probably to Times, I think it was. Anyway, it came now to Billy Nearly for the Tigers, and his kick up to half-back is marked by Hay. Hay to Spatala. Spatala now will go across to Ofterhide. The kick is not a good one. Ofterhide should run onto it just outside the defensive 50, about to be tackled by Mules, but he got the handball away to Graham. Graham on the right boot towards centre wing. Hit a bit of space. Hopwood now will get it on to Evil Roy. Evil Roy Slade now has a bounce inside 50, goes bang with a drop punt, and straight through the high level goes the sausage, and the Doggies kick their third. They got a 3 goals 4. That's 22. The Tigers 7-4-46.
Yeah, it was great play there. Off the high, getting the ball over to Graham, and Graham with a great kick down to the midfield. I think it was Steinberner who was on the end of that. He kicked it into Hopwood it was, who got it over to Evil Roy. And Evil Roy just took time, balanced himself up, ran inside the 50. The open goal was calling, and he didn't let his teammates down. A real coast-to-coast goal by the Doggies. Now they are 3 goals 4-22, still trailing the Tigers 7-4-46.
Yeah, Vincent Central District, the rebound from half-back, quick movement up forward, and the midfielder kicking the goal. That ruck duel, well, Cranston probably got the tap down on it. Now looking to his body on the line. Nearly with the tackle comes to Bode. Quick hands here. Nearly has it now, gets it out towards movement, and if that's not high, can that not be high? Thankfully, the umpire who was further away saw what we saw. And Glenelg away. Hand pass to Fisher. Fisher gets for the pocket, looking out there for Mitchell. Can't bring it in now. He does. Great hand pass to Golding, who run into goal. He scores the Tigers ace. Great individual effort there by Mitchell. Couldn't take the mark. How often do you see a forward that can't take the mark go out of the contest? Mitchell stayed in there, and the former Werribee Tiger set up Golding. Open goal, Tigers 8, and they're back to a 30-point lead.
Yeah, I've made mention a couple of times of the Tigers forward set up, and the way they've been doing their second and third efforts has been absolutely outstanding, and that play there was a result of a second effort from Mitchell, and that gave Golding his 3rd goal. So the Tigers are not lying down here. Often you see a side coming up against the centre side lie down. They are 5 goals in front, the biggest lead of the day so far, and courtesy of Grand Central. We played 6 minutes of this second quarter. The Tigers with all the running.
Yeah, and the reason the umpire missed that, he was unsighted the initial free kick, but the umpire up at half forward saw it and immediately paid the free kick. The ball in the centre. Out comes Marnie for the Bays. The kick's off the instep of the boot, though. Not a good one up inside 50. Big Willett runs onto it. Can he get it back over his head? He does. Who's going to be first there? I think it's going to be Swatala. Backwell somehow got rid of the footy. He bangs it up towards 10 half forward. Slade's there for the dog if he can pick it up. Also Arnott. He gets a lightning handball over to Slade. Running onto him as Moore enforced the pressure. That's good work by the Bays in defence, and Slade's kick off the side of the boot has gone out of bounds out here almost in front of us at half forward on the grandstand
I
side.
asked the question, was that a deliberate kick?
Absolutely. Very effective.
Why wasn't it played?
Because that's not how the rule is interpreted, and to be honest, I'm probably glad it's not. Umpire throws it in. Rucks go to it. Mackenzie pushed out the way. Cransford tap Bode with a quick hand pass to Fisher. Fisher inbound, heads towards 50. There's a Centrals player underneath it. He's spoiled by Gibbs. Loose ball, 40 out. Centrals players go to ground. Gibbs goes and gets it. He's depossessed with the ball. Steinburner under siege, had it, lost it. Off the height, has to go and get it. Mitchell trying to lay the tackle. It's hard football at the moment. Quick kick comes out the pack towards goals. And it will bounce out of bounds. Throw in right next to the Glenelg behind post. Scoreboard side.
See, again, the second and third efforts of the Tigers forwards absolutely outstanding. Gibbs was thrown off the ball, went to ground, got straight back up and went back into the contact to hold the ball in the area. Well done.
Okay, well, the big bad wolf stopped huffing and puffing because there's hardly any breeze around at the moment as the ball is tossed in. Scholar got a right hand of the ball. A chance now for the doggy if they can pick it up. Trying to burst his way through there was Graham. He did so. Ends up now with McCabe. McCabe for the doggy just outside the defensive 50. Goes to centre wing. Butcher in there uses his body. Then went without the footy. Also there is Mills. He got met high. The umpire says play on. The ball comes back to Fisher and it beats over the boundary line for a throw in, Smitty.
No, I was just going to say, you called it right there, but he did get met high, but the umpire obviously didn't see it. But the ball would be thrown in out of side of the ground on 5 RPH football. 10 minutes gone, Grand Central.
Okay, ball tossed in. Cranston and Scholar. Cranston from behind, Scholar in front. Obviously the ball down to clever tap on there by Bode. Gave it to Panozzo. Panozzo into the centre. Butcher will take the mark. He thought about the handball. In fact, he completed the handball. Gave it over to his teammate there in Miller. Miller gets it into the centre, but the kick's a shocker. Comes down to McCabe. McCabe's high ball up towards 10 half forward. Oh, Panozzo came out, dropped the mark. He was pushed there. Was Kellett coming in now and taking the ball as Fisher. Come out, got the handball back. Good work by the Tigers. They're using the ball superbly. Panozzo's got it again, and he'll bring it out in a half-back flank where Butcher takes the mark on the grandstand side and will tip it short to Backwell.
Back off centre of the ground, back to Butcher. Gee, you're going to like what Glenelg are doing this afternoon. Direct play down the centre, looking. Takes the mark, 45 out. One-on-one contest with off the height, and she hasn't Matthew Doldick improved this year. We saw him against Norwood dominate the main forward target. His kicking that day was a stray. I think he kicked 5-5. Could have had a huge effect. He kicked 6, I think, last game against the Roosters. Already has 3 this afternoon. Going for 4.
Comes in now from 48 metres. The kick's on its way. Drop punt's going to go straight lob in the goal square. It's not going to quite make the distance, and he's through for a minor score. So Doldick hasn't added to his 3 goals already, but has added to the score by adding a point. So 8 goals, 5, 53. Central District's now 3 goals, 4, 22.
Well, Glenelg have put a mortgage on that centre corridor this afternoon. Love the way they've put every opportunity, looking to bring the ball inboard and give their forwards best opportunities. The Central District's kick finds Chris Gowans, pretty much centre half back. He goes towards the boundary line looking for his teammate there, and it comes across now to Slade with the hand pass. Slade now has a loose player downfield, which he finds. That's Sibanala, centre wing. He sends the doggies into attack. Cowan trying to go back, can't get it. At the back of Shell comes to Butcher. Butcher to Fisher, and the Tigers are away. Butcher really mopping up very well at the fence. Him and Sherwood, that gives Glenelg a great defensive unit. Now comes to Mahoney. Mahoney switches play across the ground. Has a teammate out there who's open. Now he's a little bit indecisive, which gives the chance for Centrals to mark up. And the play, just for a moment, a chance to catch the breath. The kick long downfield. Willis trying to set himself as the target. It's tapped away. Scholar has it. He's tackled pretty quickly, gets the hand pass away there to McCabe. McCabe now to Bellow. Bellow centre wing. Runs away from his opponent. Now kicks a low kick inside the no one in particular. Mackenzie has to go below his knees. You don't want that with a ruckman. Comes to Moore. He gets across the Backwell. He's come across the grandstand side. Backwell takes a bounce in front of the RPH commentary crew. He kicks it inside 50. Not a great kick. Doldick faster than I gave him credit for. I thought it was going to land at his toes. He took the mark, kicks it towards the top of the goal square. Loose ball, and Central District's under siege. Tap it for another behind. Yeah, I'll give Doldig credit. He's faster than I thought he was. He took a good mark there. Glenelg 8-6, Central's 3-4, and the Tigers still well in front.
Okay, the ball kicked out to Bello, just outside 50 on the outer side. He'll kip it short. Steinberner runs onto the footy. Will use his pace and get past his opponent. Gibbs almost tackled him, but Steinberner got the kick away. Shell at the back. Got to be in front, Shelley, to take these marks, mate, as the ball is grabbed there by Slade, brought to ground. And there'll be a ball up just inside the 50 for the Doggies. They need sausage roll, Smitty.
They certainly do. The Tigers making the defensive work look easy against the Central's forwards. I mean, they just make them look slow at the moment. They're running the ball out of the defence, led by Butcher.
Okay, ball there taken by the Doggies out to Shell. Shell on the 50, gave it back to Steinberner. Steinberner will concede ground and gives it out here to Chris Gown. Still outside the 50, plays on. Will bomb it up towards full forward with the run of the ball. Cowan up over the back. The ball taken by Hay, I think it was. Not too sure who that was that grabbed the footy, but it might be Officer in actual fact. It is, the goal to the Doggies. Couple of bays went up. The ball bounced. Officer onto it, and he's put it straight through the high diddle-dill. The Doggies go to 4 goals, 4. That's 28. They trail the Tigers 8-6-54. Thanks to Black and White Trucks and Removals. Let's move it right around the grounds.
Thanks, DB. And the other two SANFL games, it's South 7-5-47. Ben Warren has 4, leading North 5-4-34. And the other game, Western Port 9-4-58, leading West 4-7-31. And just after half-time in the AFL games, no movement in scores there. Geelong 7-7, leading Freo 7-5. Collingwood 8-3, leading Hawthorn 7-5. Back to the boys at the bay.
From the centre clearance, Hay gets it across to Kellett. Kellett with a quick kick forward. Backwell is there to get the ball after the spoil. He's got more running from Tigers, running hard through centre wing. The quick across here, looking for Willens, who takes the mark right on the boundary line in front of the newer of the two grandstands here at the Glenelg Oval. Half forward, centres it in. Coming out now, looking for it, I think, is Mitchell. It goes out the back of the pack.
In the back.
In the back, not paid as Arnott picks it up. It's a high kick out looking for Scholar. Cranston coming to get him. It's a bad bounce for Scholar. Cranston gets the hand pass away to his teammate. Coming in board for Doldig. Tigers have got some numbers here. Should be able to create something. The kick inside forward, 50 to the leading players mark. And that's Marnie. He cops one, I think, for his troubles. Went to ground, touched his head just to check it was still there. It is, and he will have a shot on goal.
Came in his hair, wasn't he? Didn't look like there was too much in that, DB.
Oh, he definitely got him after he marked the ball, but I think he was aiming at the footy, to be honest.
Josh Mahoney is going to line up. Will kick from around about 35 metres out. Hasn't kicked a goal this season.
First game for the Tigers this year, I think.
Okay, Mahoney's first game then, so let's see if he can kick a goal. Important kick too. The breeze just starting to spring up again here. Comes in now, kicking to the schoolboy, and he does it very, very well and drives it through. He often trying to kick it through the ball, but he actually put the ball out, let the breeze bring it back, and just knew it was going through right from the start. He's first, and the Tigers ninth. They go to 9 goals, 60. Leading Central's 4-4-28, and the Central side, I must admit, looked a bit shell-shocked. They look slow. The Tigers are leading to the ball. They're running away with it. Butcher is cutting him up through the fence, doing very well. Backwell is getting plenty of ball through the midfield, as is Adam Fisher. So the Tigers are playing well. The Central side need to do some work.
Umpire with the footy, about to bounce it again. Down she goes. The whistle's gone. Free kick is going to go the Tigers' way, so obviously a doggy inside the
Luke
square.
McCabe inside the square for the Doggies.
No, well, the ball's coming back now to Cranston, I think it was. Billy Neely actually took the kick, but going to come back to...
it's got to go to the ruckman.
To Cranston. So Cranston now will bang the Tigers in with the worst looking kick you've ever seen in your life. Up towards half forward. Meeting with the ball was Gibbs. How did he get away? Came to Mules. Mules got it over to his teammate, and that was Fisher, who bangs it up inside 50. Players will set themselves. Bode out pointed there as it comes to Gibbs. He's a clever player, Gibbs, but he can't pick it up. He taps it on the back wall. Back wall gave it to Steinberner. The opposition, though. Here's a chance, though, for the Doggies from Chris Gowan to Slade. Slade's hurried kick off the side of the boot. Will go out the centre wing. Who's going to be first there? Shell. Mules was in hot pursuit as well as they come towards the ball. Rogers got rid of Shell, did it superbly. Mules and he'll get the free kick. The Doggies who tackled him came in at 100 miles an hour, made contact. I'm trying to think, I think it was Evil Roy, and he absolutely poleaxed Mules, I think it is, boys, isn't it?
Got him in the head too, and it wasn't dissimilar to some of those things we've seen in the AFL where players have been reported. One particular player got 6 games for the very similar action, but Evil Roy is going to be okay this time. No report late.
Well, Mills saw him coming and tried to get out the way, and it just fell right on top of him.
Well, Mills is going to take the kick at half-back. Looks a little bit groggy. And has actually got hit, though he'd been kicked by a mule, to be honest with you. As the ball goes up towards centre wing, the ball down the ground. Billy nearly tackled from behind, falls to the ground with the ball underneath him. Umpire has no option but to ball it up centre wing, out of side.
16 minutes gone, thanks to Grand Central. Glenelg have taken a 25-point quarter-time lead and extended it out to 32. Interchange happening here for the Tigers. Coming on for his first run this afternoon, Jack Haran, and I think that might be Fisher having a well-deserved rest. From the ruck contest, it's still a hard ball to get. Neely's got it. Well, was chasing the ball towards the boundary line. Boundary line wins another throw-in.
Grand Central tells us we've played 15 minutes of this second quarter. 9 goals, 660. That's the Tigers leading the Central side 4-4-28.
Umpire now throws it in. Cranston and Mackenzie beats both of them at the back of the pack. Central's read a better kick it forward, looking for Shell. He's got to get on about the third bounce. Rogers giving him a hard time, pressing him hard, and now the Tigers through numbers, hand pass to Neely, and they're away. Back towards centre wing. Backwell puts his body in line but loses his footing. Gives a chance there for Swatala. I think the hand pass to Slade. I think that was to Bello. Bello now the kick inside 50 over the top of Cowan. Socket off by Sherwin. Luck's a fortune straight to the hands of a Glenelg player, and suddenly the Bays are running it through the centre of the ground. A long kick inside forward 50 off the hide, sets himself, crashes the pack. Willis at the bottom of the pack, but the umpire has seen a free kick for pushing the back, and Quinton Graham will take it for the Doggies. And gee, almost a chance there for Glenelg to run on and kick another goal.
I don't know how that happened, but there's a free kick gone the Doggies' way. Ends up with Cochrane. Cochrane gave it over to Hopwood. Hopwood's handball now back out to trying to pick up the player to the handball. But anyway, it comes back here to Cochrane, or is it Bello? One of the two. Bello inside the 50. Players set themselves at the back. Cowan, the ball to ground. Can the Doggies get a sausage roll? The handball out to Shell. Here's the chance. Shell goes bang and puts it through for his first sausage roll as the Doggies go to 5 goals, 4-34. They trail the Tigers 9-6-60.
Yeah, quick changes made there too by the Central side. Coming off was Kellett, and coming on was the player there in Shannon Hearn for his first run of the day. But Central's made something out of nothing there. Don't know what happened up here at half-back where the free kick was paid. It looked like Orftide actually jumped into the back of his own player.
Well,
the umpire...
I mean, the Central's players, to me, were at the back of the pack.
Yeah.
So how you get pushed at the back when you're at the back, we might find out with the videotape later.
Okay, the umpire back in the centre of the ground. You're on 5 RPH football with Phil Hurden.
Umpire bounces another beautiful bounce here at Glenelg Oval this afternoon. Glenelg win the clearance yet again. It's going to lob right on forward 50. Willis is giving Sibanala a hard game. Bottom of the pack. Gibbs with great skill kicks it forward for Mitchell. Umpire will say that is a mark son. And David Mitchell from the Werribee Tigers led their goal kicking last year. And he and Golding, what a combination.
Yeah, it was Jack Haran actually then who actually read the ball very well. Saw the pack settling. Willis couldn't mark it. He read it better than anybody. Picked it off the pack and then has seen the leading player in David Mitchell. He's already kicked 20 goals this season. He's lining up for his first today. Will kick from around about 38, 39 metres, 45-degree angles.
Evil Roy's coming off, limping.
Yeah, he is too. So
no interchange on as yet.
Okay, so Mitchell coming in now for a chance to edge the Tigers that little bit further away. Comes in now, the kick's on its way. The goal umpire is just running a little bit too left, but he says that's okay. That's his first, and Glenelg have got their 10. They go through the Battle of Hastings, 10-6-66. They are leading Central's 5-4-34. Grand Central tells us we played 20 minutes. Quickly, back to the studio, thanks to Black and White Trucks and Removals. Let's move it right around the ground.
Thanks, Smithy. I can hear the snouts from here with that one. South 7-7-49 leading North 5-4-34. Port 9-6-60 leading West 5-7-37. And in the AFL games, Hawthorn 9-5. Williams has 4 leading Collingwood 8-3-51. And Freo 9-5 hanging on against Geelong 8-10-58. Back to the boys at the Bay.
The ball kicked by Arnott up towards half forward, but the mark by Panozzo at the back. Panozzo will get it on, gives it to Rogers. Rogers now for the Tigers will bring it into Ben Moore in the centre. He takes the mark. Bello there to tackle him. As Moore now will get it on to Sherwood. He's made tremendous running from the back. Oh, Sherwood meant to give it back to Moore, but Moore wasn't there. As it's grabbed by Bello, he ducks the head. Brett grabbed, and they get the free kick. Lucky to get that one as he'll go in short. This could be costly for the Tigers as it comes now to McCabe. McCabe will run inside the 50, keep it short. Over the back though, Sure with the opportunity. Player pushing the back down. The Tigers come away through Mules as they bring it out to half-back, and Benny Moore dives on top of the foot. He couldn't take it, tried to tap it out. Did so. Cowan's got it wrapped up though by Backwell. Backwell actually took it off him. Unbelievable tackle. He gave it to Mules, who couldn't hang on to it. Out comes Miller, it was. Gives it to Backwell. Backwell to Colford. Colford inboard to Billy Neely. He can't do it. They're making mistakes, but they're going to get away with it as Colford runs into the centre with the footy for the Tigers. Goes Bangle to drop back. The leader's on now for gets it over to Butcher. Butcher got free. Has a big run towards goal. Great football by the Tigers. They go to 11 goals, 6. That is 72. The Doggies 5 goals, 4-34.
That is vintage Tigers football when you see the balls competing in the background. The pleasing aspect that Peter Simmons, the coach from the Tigers, will get out of that is that they didn't panic. They kept at the ball, even though they made a couple of mistakes. They were there in numbers, and they were able, because they had the numbers, run the ball out. Butcher took a chance and ran from half-back flank and ran all the way down to half-forward. Saw that Doldig was on the lead. Doldig marked the ball. Butcher was right there. Great timing by Butcher, and he ran in, had a couple of bouts, charged his arm and ran straight to the line and kicked his first goal, and the Tigers led it. Great play by the Tigers.
Yeah, the crowd on their feet for that one. 38-point lead for the Tigers. They try and go forward through Bode, who sockers it off the ground. Willits and Sibanala battling for it. Willits gets there first. Sibanala gets a good bounce, a chance for Centrals to relieve the pressure momentarily. Going down looking for Officer. Panozzo leaps over the top. They both missed it. Shell in the half-forward flank can't bring it in. It's a throw-in. 23 minutes gone thanks to Grand Central, and it's the Tigers by 38.
This is where they've got to hang on now, the Tigers. They've got to continue this lead and take it in. If they can score another goal now, I can just feel the Tigers are getting right on top, and the Central side just starting to drop off. If they get another goal now, very, very important for the Tigers.
Okay, the ball tossed in. Front position there was Andrews for the Tigers, but the Doggies have the 10-off player has been felled after he got rid of the ball. The umpire was there to see it.
See, some of these off the field free kicks are certainly hurting the Tigers.
Okay, so it's Chris Gowans now with the footy for the Dogs. Will bang it inside 50. It's a prodigious kick too. Big pack will set themselves up, ball down the ground. Then there is Shelley all through it out to Scholar. Scholar gives it over to Biscuits. On it around the body goes Biscuits, but he's offline. In fact, it's out of bounds on the sitting bull. There'll be a free kick to the Tigers. It'll be taken by Benny Mules back there.
Another change being made. Fisher coming back on for the Tigers.
Benny Moore.
And Benny Moore coming off. So,
okay, Mules now always gets the lead here from Horan. And it's going to be out on the full, I think. Very close to it, and it is out on the full, and the kick to be taken was touch and go, I tell you. But the boundary umpire was right there, and Shell, the recipient of the free kick.
And to kick this.
Yes, he probably will drill this, boys.
Okay, Daniel Shell. Only kicked the one thus far for the Central side, kicking from right on the boundary line, 50 metres out. It's been called to play on, kicks it up, allows the breeze to take it back, and it's done that just as well. And that's not what the Tigers wanted. What they've got to do now is they've got to respond and get the ball out of the centre. The Tigers now have gone to 6 goals, 4-40. They still trail by 32 points. The Glenelg Tigers 11-6-72. Grand Central tells us we played 25 minutes of this second quarter. The Tigers need to respond, and they need to respond quickly.
That was an interesting decision. The ball went out of bounds right on the line, and then the player had to bring it back, and the player was brought back inside the boundary line.
And he probably gained a couple more metres from that.
2 or 3 metres there.
But I'll tell you what, I'm working with a bunch of dead set prophets this afternoon. Smithy called Butcher's goal. 10 seconds before he got the ball. DB calls Shell's goal from the boundary line. I better work on my crystal ball work at the moment. But at the moment, Glenelg, 32-point leaders. They've maintained the cushion, 23-point leaders at quarter time. They've extended it to 32. Only a couple of minutes left of the second quarter. Fisher punches it forward to Colfer to Bode. Bode's got time for a bounce. Takes one. He's better do something. Kick it or bounce it. Does so from 55. Kicks it, Goes to Mahoney. He tapes it towards the boundary line. Willits in there. Tries to get the hand pass back in board. It is smothered. It'll be a throw-in right in front of the scoreboard that looks fantastic for Glenelg supporters. They picked 11-6-72. The Doggies 6-4-40.
Boundary umpire to throw it in. Waiting now, Sibanala. Up against Willits, the ball out the back, taken by Steinberner. He lost it, comes to McCabe. McCabe almost grabbed it, got the handball away to Swatala to Vello. Vello to Hopwood now, and the half-back flank out of side. He'll chip it into the centre. Oh, the Bay player must have messed Redbat, because running onto the footy there for the Doggies is Hearn. Hearn goes bang inside the lead on from Scholar. Inside the 50, I was trying to say Sherwood gets the handball over, gives it to Miller. Miller will go right over the top there to big Andrews. Andrews lumbers after the footy, gives it out to Panozzo. Panozzo now at half-back will chip it short. The lead is on from out there. The player there was Bode, but the ball thumped away and over the boundary line for a throw-in.
Yeah, good defensive work again by the Tigers. They don't panic. They know where they are. They try to find the body with the ball. They just don't panic and blaze away. Good defensive work again by the Tigers.
Well, the wind is pretty much heading from Glenelg over towards the city. We've seen a lot of play on the far side this afternoon. Boundary umpire, a bit of work going into the breeze to get the throw in as Andrews gets it to his team. I think that might have been nearly. Under pressure, gets it away. Glenelg say, we're not going to grab the ball, I'll just kick it forward. Goes past Bode, now to Marnie. Marnie to Fisher, back to Marnie, who was under pressure from Cochrane. Good enough to get the hand pass away. Colford has it now, the low drill pass. And I think that's Golding, who got the winning ticket. He's taken the mark 40 out, and a chance for Glenelg to kick their 12th goal of the first half. They're not going to kick 49 this afternoon, but they have played some impressive football and have the forwards to finish it off.
They certainly have, and this is one of them. He's already kicked 3, has Doldy. He's been a great find or great improver this year for the Tigers. Comes in from 45 metres out, virtually directly in front. It's a real finger breaker kick, but it's got enough to go through for his 4th and the Tigers' 12th. They now go to 12 goals, 6-78. They lead the Central side 6-4-40, and courtesy of Grand Central, we have played just over 28 minutes of this second quarter. Again, we've got to be very pleased with the way the Tigers in defence. They don't panic. They got the ball out, and we saw the lead on there. There was 2 players who could have raffled the ball, and Doldig was the one who stood up, took the mark, and turned around and kicked truly for his 4th goal.
Okay, umpire with the footy now to... not sure what this umpire does. No, he's going to bounce this one. Oh, beautiful bounce. Up he goes in the centre. Up they go. Andrews got the tap down, running onto it as Bode. Somehow he emerged with the footy. Might have been grabbed high. Got the handball out to Butcher. Butcher now to Fisher. Fisher back to Bode. They're running the Tigers. And he'll bring it back for inboard to Fisher now. Fisher's got to give ground and come back out here to the grandstand side where Backwell's all by himself. Takes the mark at centre wing. He raced no time. Backwell, the lead on from Gibbs. It was Gibbs will go over the top. Gives it to Doldig. Doldig back to Gibbs, but the handball was too hot for the youngster. He couldn't hold it. Has to go back, get the footy and handball it, but he's under pressure and it goes out of bounds in that right full forward pocket for the Tigers.
But again, we see the second and third efforts of Gibbs there. The handball was just a fraction behind him. He didn't give up. He just turned around, couldn't take it, brought the ball to ground, and then forced the ball over the boundary line to keep the ball in the area. Well done again.
Boundary umpire throws the ball back in. Colford at the back, tapped it out, and running onto it as Haydo burst the pack, tried to get the handball. Hopwood fell over at a vital stage. Mind you, he might have been pushed at the same time. Ball into contest, and there'll be a ball up just inside 50, the half-forward flank for the Tigers.
Yeah, very rare this afternoon. We've seen Central Districts able to clear it out of the fence with any ease. Umpire will ball it up, 40 out. Not much time left in this second quarter. It has been all Glenelg extending their quarter-time lead. Tap down from Andrews, running onto it. Nearly who snaps it, coming back, but not enough. Not by much. Goal umpire was riding the post, had a better view of it than us. He signalled it behind. It is Glenelg 12-7-79. Central's 6-4-40. 39-point lead to the Tigers. And don't forget, Centrals have won the last 13 encounters between these sides and the last 6 at the Bay.
He bent it back, but obviously bent it back behind the post, Smitty, because it looked like he bent it back in time from where we're sitting. As Hay kicks the ball to himself, will bring it out to the grandstand side. McCabe is in the van and takes the mark. He'll get the handball over as the siren goes to end the first half here at the Bay. And what a game of football it's been from the Tigers. They lead at 12-7-79. The Doggies 6-4-40.
And goal scorers for the Tigers thus far. Matthew Doldig with an inspiring half of football has kicked 4. Brett Backwell has got 2. And then it singles there to the Butcher. I was going to say the Bacon, the candlestick maker, but that's not quite right. You've got Colpert, Mitchell, also Bryce Gibbs, Willis, and Rowan Andrews all kicking singles for the Central side. Well, there's no multiple goal scorers thus far. Yes, there is. Shell has got actually 2. And then it singles there to Officer Luke Cowan and then Quinton Graham and then Matthew Slade with singles there. The Tigers well and truly in front, 12 goals, 7-79. to the Tigers, to the Central side, 6 goals for 40. The pleasing aspect, there hasn't been any flooding, there hasn't been any negative football. It's been all positive, all attack, and the way the Glenelg side are going, I mean, they are going to go a long way, and they will shape a lot of sides and scare a lot of sides in the top 8, top 5.
Central District's known as a very physical side. Glenelg, a lot of young players. We haven't seen Centrals physically respond yet.
You're on 5 RPA football. 39-point ball game in favour of the Tigers. Dennis Brown, your first caller of this premiership quarter.
Cowan to full forward, Shell to centre-half forward for the Doggies as the first kick is going to go the Doggies' way. And it's going to be Big Scholar, the recipient. Now, there seems to be some indecision as to which way the ball is going, and that's not a good sign to start things off. But it is going to go the way of Scholar, and Big Scholar now will get the handball over to Bello. Bello onto the left boot, up inside 50. The Doggies need a goal to start proceeding. The ball thumped away, almost taken there by Chris Gowns. Got the handball over, gave it there to Hearn. Hearn kicked towards full forward, but Sherwood with speed gathers the footy in, chips it over there to put it in front of Gibbs. But I don't know how they did about the Bays are going to come away with it. Gibbs will get the handball over the top, gives Billy Neely. He's in a bit of trouble, as he knows. Dodges, weaves, comes back onto the right boot, then kicks into the body. Good enough to go back and get the footy. Give it a back will out the back. Gives it to Mules. Mules now out to Panozzo. Panozzo at the half back. Puts a high ball. A lot of players will set themselves. Oh, Big Scholar came down. Actually probably stopped his teammate from ending up with the footy. It's a hurried handball there attempted by Marnie. Came back down into contention between, looked like Chris Gowns and also Panozzo for a ball up centre wing right in front of the 5 RPH commentary team.
Great effort by Marnie to hold it up. Initially, that was a 3-on-1 contest in favour of the Bulldogs. Marnie held it up for the cavalry to arrive, and now it'll be a bounce down centre wing. And again, a nice bounce. Scholar gets a tap, although Cranston over the back comes to Nearly. Quick hand pass to Fisher. Glenelg away inside forward 50 towards the pocket. And sliding safe at first, taking the mark, will be Quentin Graham. So Glenelg's first forward sortie rejected as Graham decides to kick right across goals marked in the goal square by Symes with the high kick to Arnott. So again, Central District's taking the scenic route. Now they head towards goal. It's that way, fellas. And they've set it up. Afterhide there, tapped away from him. Picking it up now, Panozzo under pressure from Afterhide. In fact, Afterhide will force Panozzo out of bounds. Will be a throw-in centre wing at just Glenelg's side of the ground here at the Bay as the Tigers lead it by 39 points.
That was a great spoil by that Glenelg player, running with the flight of the ball. Didn't touch the body of his opponent, actually just tapped the ball. So well done by that Tiger player.
Okay, ball taken out of the air there by Big Scholar. Chance now for the player in Biscuits, Arnott, I think it was, who got the ball, but he was out of bounds since he got the handball. Well, no, it wasn't Biscuits. Sure who that player is. It's Symes, in actual fact. The boundary umpire will throw the ball back in. Scholar and Cranston. Big Scholar got rid of his opponent.
Great handball.
Oh, great football there as it ends up now with Colpert. Colpert will chip it out to the lead of Dolan. And the big bloke got her again. Great football by the Tigers. You had to be impressed. I'm not too sure who the player was that tapped it over there, but tremendous footy by that player to tap it to
Ben Mules it was.
Colpert, and Colpert put it down the throat of his teammate in Matty Daldig.
Yeah, it was a great play right from the throw-in out there. It was just all the Tigers, and the player who tapped the ball on, often he actually take the ball, but he didn't. Daldig comes in now for his first shot on goal in the third quarter and has missed. So not a good sign there. Daldig needed to nail that one. So the Tigers now 12 goals, 8-80, lead by 40 points, the biggest margin of the day. They're leading Central 6-4-40. We played 5 minutes courtesy of Grand Central.
You know, footy is such a funny game. A little miss like that.
Sure, that's your confidence. That's right.
We've got some half-time amateur league scores, which we'll give you shortly during the next break. As Central's kick is marked. Chris Gowns now gets the handball. Sends it down towards Sibanala. Marks right on centre wing out of sight. A lot of play down that side of the ground this afternoon. Brings it towards forward 50. Butcher flies at the back to enforce the spoil. Will be a throw-in. Well, Salisbury North 5-0 30 Trailgazer 8-10 58, and the other game Broadview 8 straight 48 lead Ross Trevor 6-7 43. Umpire will ball it in. 70 out from the Central's goal. No sausage rolls thus far in the premiership quarter from the back of the pack. Scholar, hard ball to get. Glenelg, their clearances today have been so impressive. And this occasion, the little kick is marked.
Sherwood,
and that is Marnie with the mark, the kick from Sherwood. Marnie now with the kick again, looking for his teammate further downfield. Spoiled, comes to the chest of Gowns. He kicks it down looking for his teammate. That might be Arnott. Arnott tries to move it on quickly, looking for Symes. Central's trying to run. The handball was in hope, looking for, I think that was Steinberner, who's wrapped up by Panozzo. And their end of Central's forward charge will be a ball up inside the centre square here at the Bay.
Again, 3 or 4 players at the ball, and as you heard DB say, it was a great tackle. Panozzo stopped the player dead, and then that gives his opportunity for his teammates to get the ball again.
Down goes the bounce. Cranston got the tap back into his pack of players. Cranston goes in for a second attempt, but they wrap him up. And there'll be another ball up. You've heard Smitty say that all day today. That's what the Bays have been doing. Second and third attempts have been so important this afternoon, and that's the reason they lead by 40 points. Down goes the bounce. Scholar front position. A backhanded tap, though, straight down the throat of Benny Moore. He'll chip it out there, and Billy Neal will take the mark. Neal quickly over to his teammate who has a bounce there. He'll kick the ball down there. Marnie it was. The high ball inside 50 at the back. Golding. He's got the strength again. Takes the mark. Oh, thought about a handball, but then decides to go back and have a pot shot at the goal. He'll kick from about 25 metres.
Now, am I right in saying that's not called play on because his feet didn't move?
No. Correct. His body moved, his hands moved, everything moved, his mind, not his feet.
That's exactly right. So Dolding's done the right thing there. He's going to line up from 25 metres out. And it is a kick coming in now. The kick's on its way. The goal umpire again has moved too far. And again, what do we say, DB? Every time you've got a kick through the ball, the last 2 kicks that Dolding's had, he's tried to guide the ball through, and both of them have resulted in points. Not good enough.
Comments from the unleagued coach of the century, Daryl Smith, here at the Bay. And Glenelg have had 2 chances to extend the lead, and have kicked behind through Dolding.
What century was that, by the way?
That's more a question for you, isn't it, CP? Anyway, the kick in finds the ruckman in Scholar, who takes the mark. He's trying to find some open plays, nothing doing. Sets up his teammate Moore with the spoil, comes down to Cranston, quick kick high in the air towards the pocket, and Dolding will watch it sail into the cricket net.
One thing that the Tigers, the Central side are doing, they are getting numbers back at the fall of the ball. There was 4 players in the defensive action there, all on their own.
After Hyde had the ball, the Central's coming the scenic route again down the grandstand side, looking for Arnott, who takes the mark. Now, can they do something with the ball? Kicks it long downfield, looking for Bella, maybe Butcher with the big spoil. Gibbs trying to run onto it. Cowan bursts the pack. Picks Alex with Symes, apologies. Now he's looking for Cowan and Shell, but Glenelg are there in numbers, and that is a mark to Rogers. They will switch play. That looks like Culprit with the ball, looking now for his teammate in Panozzo. Panozzo goes over more and will find Willits, marks on centre wing. Looking for some Tigers to run onto. Willits now. Takes his time. He's going to go for the long kick inside forward 50 over the head of Mitchell. Dolding and off to Hyde. Off to Hyde takes a strong mark. And again, we're going to switch at play. We're doing circle work here at the moment at Glenelg. Off to Hyde takes a bounce. Waits for to draw Marnie. Happens now. Comes to Arnott. Arnott at the half-back flank. Kick Central's down the grandstand wing. Pack sets themselves. Good mark taken there by Swatala. Swatala, of course, the omission from Central's grand final side after playing a lot of games during the minor round. Tap comes from Backwell, who's injured. He's a bit slow to get up. Play comes forward, and there's the turnover at the centre of the ground. Gowans has it to Slade. Slade picks it up clearly with one hand from 40 out, and there's a goal for Doggies. Their 7th of the afternoon. Slade's a second. Central District 7-4-46, Glenelg 12-9-81. It was a hard ball to get in the centre, and the old combination at Gowans and Slade gives Central's the goal.
Thanks to Black and White Trucks and Removals. Let's move it right around the ground.
Thanks, Smithy. And the 2 AFL games hotting up. Collingwood 14-3 leading Hawthorn 12-7. Geelong 11-12 trailing Freo 13-7. Farmer has 4. The other 2 SANFL games, South 10-10 leading North 9-6. And Port 14-11 leading West 6-11. Back to the boys at the Bay.
Yeah, those 2 misses by Dolding could be the turning point. Centres have taken it into their forward setup and kicked the first goal of the premiership quarter. The ball back in the centre. Fisher gets it over the outside. Mules has got it now. He gets it over to his player in nearly back to Mules in the old culprit. It is. He goes in with a long kick to Marnie. Marnie can't take it, and it's been blocked off and comes to the grandstand side.
Yeah, and the ball kicked out here for the safety of the boundary line. Steinburner trying to get to it. He can't. Great smother there by Central District, who's
Quentin Graham, I think.
Quentin Graham, and might be just starting to get back in this game after it had been all the Tigers, a couple of costs.
The Tigers need to force a goal, DB. They need to do something up there and score a goal.
Okay, the boundary throw in has comes back into play. Big Scholar got a fist of the ball. It'll bounce inside 50. Marnie read it superbly to Culprit. Culprit on the 50 goes bang with a drop. He's gone through the 100 again. That's the sausage roll they needed to come back. 13 goals, 987. Second goal to Heath Colbert. And the Doggies are 7 goals for 46.
They keep doing this, the Tigers, they will win this ball game, and my son Barney won't be barracking for the Bulldogs anymore, I tell you. He'll change as quickly as anything. But great play. We made mention that the Tigers needed to force a goal. The ball came over the back, and the Tigers have 2 or 3 players running. It got to Colbert there from outside 50. He saw the open goals, kicked it truly for his second, and the Tigers 13th.
Yeah, people might be wondering why we're talking about a Central's comeback when they trail by 6. I guess it's just our impressions of Central Districts as the dominating team this century. However, the clearance hits Glenelg. Great smother by McCabe. Cochrane trying to run it. McCabe now follows up his work with a soccer towards the goal square. Cowan chasing. Rogers will pick it up. He gets Glenelg out of trouble. Finds Butcher on the half-back flank. Glenelg has some space and numbers. The kickers are straight. Beats both Arnott and the intended player in nearly chasing it. Comes down now to Centrals. They should be able to bring it in the centre, and they do. Scholar takes the mark. Quick hand pass on. I think that's Syme just as he spins out of trouble. Willits couldn't force the tackle. Comes now inside 50. Pack sets himself. Culprit brings it to the front of the pack. Hearn, I think that is trying to get the ball. Holding the ball.
They wanted to break through, DB, didn't he, there? And
umpire that pinged who the Bay player was, Mules, here earlier in the day.
And Brett Beckwell off, which is not a good sign for the Tigers. Coming on is Jack Horan.
Alrighty, now since Glenelg with the ball, they kick it forward. No one really there. Shell playing in defence for Central Districts, and you think if they got to get some goals.
It's a free kick to Shell because the player running in there was Willie nearly jumped into the pack.
Okay, the ball kicked out now, taken by Bello. Bello will try and get it over. He does so to Arnott. Arnott now with the pass up towards the lead of Cowan. Cowan quickly on, gives it to Hearn. Hearn, kick is smothered, and it's going to be taken by Butcher, is it? Yeah, on the second attempt. Handballs it now, gives it to Miller. Miller will give ground and give it out here to Willett. Willett now on the right boot. A thumping drop punt that goes a long way towards centre wing. Over the top, the player there was Hopwood. Thumped it over the boundary line for a throw-in centre wing out of side.
The players that have dropped off in this quarter for the Tigers have been the players that have kept them in or got them into the game in the first half, and that's the likes of Backwell. He's off the ground. Fisher hasn't had much, and also Bode in this quarter haven't really done much at the moment. They need to lift their game to keep this informed Tiger side marching along.
Okay. That was hard work.
It was. I knew what I wanted to say, but I just couldn't quite get it out.
And straight into contention for another ball up. Centre wing out of side. Umpire moves in to throw it up. Again, Scholar and Cranston. Scholar taps it down only as far as Colbert, who got the little kick away, but the Doggies are desperate now. They kick it along the ground out there towards centre wing. Player being hung onto was Chris Gown. Umpire didn't see that one. It comes to Panozzo. He's hurt himself as he goes to ground, and there'll be a boundary throw in centre wing out of side.
Yeah, Roy has sprung the changes. He's got both ruckmen on the field at the moment. Usually Scholar and McKenzie are the interchange, but McKenzie's gone to centre half forward. He's kicked 6 goals in 40 games. Central's need 6 goals to get back in the match. Well, and of course, Shell's gone down to fullback, and he's on Mitchell. Throw comes in. Scholar with the ruckwork, brought down to the front of the pack. Hard ball to get. Umpire letting it go, and we'll ball it up once again. Thanks to Grand Central. About 12 minutes gone of this third quarter. Thus far, Glenelg have kicked 1 goal, 2. Central's the one straight sausage roll. So again, Glenelg's just extending their lead. Free kick, 39-41, as a free kick has been found to the ruckman. And Scholar will hand pass quickly. That might be Tyson Hay coming up the centre wing looking for Cowans, who sets himself, got the height, couldn't quite bring it in. Bode off the spoil is tackled pretty quickly. Will be a ball up. 45 out from the Central's goals. They trail this one by 41.
Well, Cowan got very high there. He got a prodigious leap but couldn't hang on to the ball as the umpire touches it up. The Doggies need sausage rolls. They're behind on the scoreboard. It's come to Sherwood. He's forced off the balance, and consequently the ball spills out of his arms and over the boundary line for a throw-in right on the 50 on the outer side in front of the scoreboard.
You say the Doggies need sausage rolls. So do the Tigers, because if they go in at three-quarter time with a 6-goal break, the Tigers, the Central side will believe that they can actually get up and win this game.
Okay, the ball now kicked in towards full forward. Rogers is going to be first there and forces the ball over the boundary line for the Tigers. And there'll be a kick in, and it'll come from Panozzo for the Tigers.
Panozzo now with the ball. Margin reduced back to 40. Usually a match-winning margin. However, we know Centrals can kick a lot of goals when they're on song. We just haven't seen them get the vocal cords going this afternoon. And Scholar, There's the case in point. Uncontested, can't take the mark. Spills down to Cowan. He's from 55. That kick is wayward. Lands uncontested. The mark to the Tigers. That kick, not the best end towards the boundary line. Gibbs can't quite bring it in. Steinburner in hot pursuit will be a throw-in in front of the new grandstand here at Glenelg. About 70 out from the Central's goal.
13-9-87. That's the Tigers leading. Central 7-5-47. Each have added 1 goal, 2 in this quarter thus far.
Boundary throw, and Bello actually went up. The ball came down to Hearn. Hearn up towards full forward, but Rogers, who's also been a very good defender for the Tigers, takes the mark. Transfers play to the outer side where it's taken by Panozzo. He was in the defensive 50 when he took the mark, got the bounce. Roy Slade dived and tried to effect a tackle, but then Panozzo got away and banged it down towards half forward, up in front Shell. That's a mismatch if he's up against Billy Neely, I tell you, as he's much taller than his opponent as he chips it short to Bello. Bello now at centre wing, gets past an opponent in Fisher, puts it on the left boot. The long lead is on from Cowan at the back. In fact, it was over his head. It's been marked by McCabe. McCabe's got Hopwood, who's run down from the half-back flank at centre-half forward. Thought about giving it to Hearn, but will go back and have a shot for goal. No, chip it to Hearn. Poor defensive. Oh, tremendous work by Marnie. Intercepted that pass. It was on for sure and certain, but somehow Marnie dropped there. Gives it over to Gibbs. Gibbs now with a drop punt. He's got no one to kick to. It's all the Doggies. The ball will bounce in favour of the Doggies. No, through comes Willett. Taps it on, looking for Big Goldie. Can he keep it in? He can. The big man does it. The big fellow. Taps it in front of him. He's been pushed.
Oh, you are kidding.
The umpire was looking at the ball. That's bad football. I did say you don't watch the footy, you watch the players, but as it turned out, the ball has been kicked over the boundary line for a free kick to the Tigers, and it was chipped in short by Marnie. Gave it to Mitchell. Mitchell was centre half forward, up in front more, tapped it down. Through came Hay, got it over the top. Away go the Doggies now. Chris Gowns has got it. He'll put it on the right boot up towards Evil Roy, who's out there by himself at centre wing. Dodges past Panozzo, chips it short with a long leader. Cowan in front, and Cowan, as cool as you like, takes the mark outside 50.
Well, Central Districts, can they make a charge here? Cowan doesn't waste much time. Heads for the goal square. Mackenzie and Rogers. Mackenzie! Buckets Mackenzie has taken the mark. We said he's kicked 6 goals from his 38 league games. He looks pretty certain to get 7 because he's marked in the goal square straight in front.
I've marked it down already. He's only 5 metres out directly in front, and the Doldig effort down there to take on 3 players should have been rewarded. Instead, it's gone down the other end, and Mackenzie has kicked the goal, and the Tigers now edge that little bit closer. 8 goals, 5, 53. They still trail the Tigers 13-9-87. And you see the effort down there, DB, of Doldig taking on 3 players was certainly held on to, and you made mention to the call. The umpire was watching the ball and not the player, and that's what happened as the change comes on from Centrals, and that is Slade is off, and the player coming on is Kane Officer.
I certainly don't think that Slade is running on all 6 cylinders at the moment, shaking his head as he came off.
Might have hurt his knee when he ran into Mules over there on the far side as the ball has bounced in the centre. The Doggies have got a couple of goals compared to the Bays. 1 taken in the centre by Arnott, but too slow to get rid of the ball. A hurried kick in the centre will go up towards the 50-metre arc off the Bays boot, but Shell now doing a good job in defence. Gets it over to his teammate there in Hearn. Hearn up towards centre wing, taken by McCabe. The Doggies are running to Swatala. Swatala now, he'll bomb it towards full forward. Who's going to be there for the Doggies? It's taken by McGowan. Slick little handball to Cochrane. Around the body goes Cochrane, but he's offline. The minor score recorded. But I just sense that the Doggies are running.
Well, they're first to the ball at the moment, DB. That's the difference, and they're leading the Tigers to the ball. The Tigers seem to have stopped to a walk.
Now, Centrals have yet to kick consecutive goals here this afternoon as the kick comes into Rogers. Starting to make some mistakes now, the Tigers. That kick was scored. Rogers, though, showed great courage to go and redeem himself. The hand pass wasn't great, though. McCabe runs under at 30 out. The low kick lands in the lap of Sherwood in the goal square with the open goal, begging for a kick. It comes now to Moore, the captain, takes a bounce on the far side. The game's opened up for sure and certain. His kick to Marnie. He's got some space. He's 70 out from goal. He takes a bounce.
He's got a goal.
55. Inside 50. Centres it for Willits. It's going to come first bounce. Got a couple of plays to beat. Comes to nearly open goal from 45. They respond. Glenelg 14-9-93. Glenelg Centrals 8-6-54. And thanks to Black and White Trucks and Removals, let's move it right around the grounds.
Thanks, Phil. And close to full-time in the AFL games, a thriller looming at Skilled. Freo 13-7-85 leading Geelong 11-16-82. It's deep in the Geelong forward line with a minute to go. Collingwood 15-4 leading Hawthorn 12-7. The other two SANFL games, South 13-12, Tucky and Warren with 4 apiece leading North 9-6, and Port 16-12 leading West 9-11. Back to the boys at the Bay.
Well, the Fritz maker again, Troy Butch, has been absolutely outstanding in defence. Ran almost 50 metres, DB, to put a shepherd on there to create that goal.
Well, it's just an amazing performance. He'll play AFL football one day, that bloke. Troy Butcher. Remember the name. The ball's in the centre.
How old is he?
He's from the East Perth Royals, played for the WA State squad last year.
He's 27 years old, DB. I think his AFL career might have passed him.
You never know your luck in the big city. The ball's tapped down in the centre. Big Scholar got the handball out. The ball kicked to toe poke along. There he is again. Butcher first to the footy. Came inboard to centre half back, then transferred the ball to the outer side to Miller. Miller's going to take the mark as he goes. As Quinton Graham came in late, got rid of Miller, but Miller still hung on to the footy. That's a great mark under the circumstances.
Oh, certainly a real PDK highlight.
A definite PDK highlight for sure and certain. Now Miller in the defensive 50 will chip it short. There's a couple of players there. One of those is Fisher. Breaks away. Gets the handball. Gets support now from Sherwood. Sherwood now will chip it towards centre wing. Allison onto the ground for the Tigers. Oh, went to play on and was tackled. Fell to the ground. He'll go back and take the kick onto the left boot. He goes. The lead is on from nobody in particular. In fact, it was a poor kick and it's been marked by Hearn. Hearn now in the defensive 50 will transfer play to the outer side and the mark taken out there by Arnott. Biscuits Arnott with the ball for the Doggies.
Sherwood leading out of defence like that reminds me of Spoggy Highwood used to play halfback for the Tigers.
39-point game here at the Bay. Tigers in front. The hometown looking for third win in a row. The long kick finds Scholar, who takes a strong mark. Opposed to Fish, a bit of a height differential there. He gets the short kick to Bellows. Centrals have got some run through the middle. Symes has got some space and some time. McCabe running backwards onto the ball. What a mark over his shoulder. Another PDK highlight, and they're getting their money's worth today. We've had great highlights. Great, courageous mark running with the flight of the ball. And Luke McCabe, the former Hawk hero, will have a shot for the Doggies.
It was a great mark running with the flight of the ball, and he probably knew that there was no one coming at him, which is
how would you know that?
Well, he would have.
He was looking at the ball.
He was running back into the space, so he would have seen that when he first ran in. Luke McCabe, though, lining up 20 metres out. The kick's on its way, and he has missed it. So a very, very poor kick again, DB. Just trying to guide the ball through. How often and how many times have we said you must kick the ball through? There will be kids out there to get the ball. They don't mind chasing it, and they would have kicked the goal if they'd have done that.
I wonder if any of the coaches listen to the commentary of the radio like they do for the AFL.
Well, they certainly get us on the tapes afterwards.
No, you're right.
Oh, do they?
Yes. You're right. You're dead right, Smitty. You've got to kick through the ball. No use guiding.
Oh, you do. There's no question. You guide it. You're not in control of it. If you're in control, your normal kicking action is the best way of doing it. So they'll get the ball after. Don't worry about that.
Right, Colford now, 10.5 back, goes across to Willits. I tell you what, he's in a likely type, Willits. He's marked the ball just backward of centre wing on the outer side. Cranston off. And coming on is young Andrews for the Tigers. So Willits with the ball. As we said, backward of centre. They've just slowed the game down somewhat, the Tigers now. As Willits thinks to tell you what, he can kick a foot. The prodigious kick up towards the half-forward thing. Out the back, Mitchell tried to take it. There's Bode with the strangest looking handball you've ever seen, but somehow Colbert got hold of it. He'll chip it up now into the pocket. Andrews just onto the ground, running in front of the pack. Or might have been brought down without the footy.
He was brought down without the footy. Simple as that.
And the umpire said, play it on, boys, and it went out of bounds. Now, how could an umpire miss that? He was right in front of it.
Who knows?
Anyway, the boundary umpire's going to throw it in. You're on 5 RPH footy with Phil Herden.
Well, Tigers have still maintained their cushion. McCabe's a miss. Keeps them out above a 6-goal lead. Scholar brings it down. Hay trying to do some tough work in the pack. Glenelg are making it tough. One thing we haven't seen this afternoon is easy clearances out of defence by the Centrals defenders. That's their trademark. They rebound half-back, get inside forward, and bang the goals through their midfielders. Haven't had it easy this afternoon.
We may be seeing a trademark of the Tiger side is that when it goes into their forward area, they won't let the ball out without a fight.
Oh, exactly right, and that's when you know a team is on song. Arnott with the kick around towards Gowans. He's fighting with the boundary line. He wins the battle. He's got a bit of space here. Gets the hand pass. Symes has got to run onto it. Quickly Colford descending. Symes tackled. Good enough to get the hand pass to Hopwood. He gets the handball away. It's not clean work, but it's working for Centrals at the moment. Gets the pass back. Cochrane now with the kick. And he will find Bello. Bello at the half-forward flank. They're working it around the boundary. Looking for Opterhyde, who's on the forwards. The man who hasn't kicked a goal for 3.5 years. He looks for McCabe, who takes the mark.
Well,
And Central Districts have had an extreme makeover in terms of their forward structure, and McCabe will shoot for goal.
We say week in and week out that you've got to play in front of your opponent in the forward line. McCabe was the one in front there. The kick wasn't a good kick. He just fell short, and McCabe was able to mark the ball 30 metres out. Now, he's got to make up for his last kick. Let's see if he actually kicks through the ball this time. There's Luke McCabe. This time the kick's on its way. It's a kick, a better kick. He's actually kicked through the ball that time, and it's gone through for a much-needed goal for Central. They now go to 9 goals, 7-61, edging that little bit closer to the Tigers, 14-9-93. Grand Central tells us we played 23 minutes of this third quarter. So Luke McCabe with his first goal on the board for the Central side. The Glenelg side have stopped their midfield. Fisher, Bode and Backwell off the ground. They need to get those players back in the midfield.
First time this afternoon, Centrals have kicked consecutive goals.
well, I'm going to tell you something. They're lucky to get that goal because I saw a player being held on to.
Yeah, I agree.
And the umpire was right there, and he didn't do anything about it. Sherwood went to chase after the player.
And was
his
held on
opponent.
to,
He was hung on to. The umpire didn't. Well, if he did see it, he did nothing about it. The ball down in the centre. It comes out towards centre wing. Culprit grabbed to the ground.
Yeah, back,
And centre wing grandstand side, well, still in the square, but Keith Culprit, been a very good player for the Tigers, will take the free kick.
Central's just forced the numbers back down there. They've got two extra players back down there now.
Well, Tyson Hay had the ball, dropped it and ran away, and the Glenelg had to go get it.
Culprit sinks the slipper. It's a long bomb. Dolby coming out. Well, he got rid of a couple of opponents, but it came out the back to Arnott. Arnott's handball's a beauty to Symes. Can the doggies get the next sausage roll as he kicks it short to Hopwood? Hopwood to Steinburner. Props and stops and gets it over to Bellow. Bellow at centre wing on the outer side. The left foot drop punt up towards half forward. The battle of strength here. In front was Quinton Graham. From the side, Miller the ball over the boundary line for a throw in half forward. Flank out of side for the doggies.
Actually, Quinton Graham did that very well. There was 3-on-1 then, and he knew that the two Tigers players were on the inside of the ground, so he actually forced the ball to the boundary line, knowing that if he didn't get it, the ball would have been over the boundary line, so well done to Quinton Graham.
Into time on here of the Premiership quarter. We've gone from a 39-point half-time lead, 32 points the margin at the moment. Central slowly but surely trying to work their way back into the game. Handball with hope. Still a pack to standing ground. Don't know how they got that up, but it's the Butcher. Butcher quickly sends the blaze forward. Mitchell, it goes past him. Central should have the numbers, but Mitchell runs back onto it. Gets the hand pass looking for Marnie. Marnie, the quick hand pass to Bode. Bode looking for Willis. Has to get on the first bounce. Willis wheels around from 50. Has the space. That is a second. The reply from the Tigers. They have their 15th. 15-9-99. Central's 9-7-61. And that just arrests the momentum Central was starting to develop.
It certainly does. And time again, we've seen the ball in that centre half forward area, and the Tigers know where to go. They come back and they have one or two players at the back play. The players who get the ball know there's going to be a player there. This time it was the Willits. They saw him back there. They gave it to Willits. He turned around and kicked from 50 metres out. Another goal. Well done to the Tigers.
And it sailed well over the goal umpire's head. He can kick a footy, can Ryan Willits. As the bounce is affected in the centre again. Big buckets McKenzie, but it comes to Culprit.
Well done.
A hurried kick out here towards centre wing. Here's Willits again, leading Big Shell at the moment. Bends down, picks up the ball. The tackle by Shell's a beauty and forces his opponent.
The second player in there was his Hopwood came in over the top and was over the shoulder. Good umpiring decision there.
Well, I didn't see that one, but anyway, the ball up towards half-forward, down to Marnie. The goal sneak around the corner, but he's away to the right for the minor score to the Tigers. They go to 15 goals, 10-100, Central 9-7-61.
And we are back to our half-time margin of 39 points. So Centrals have picked up a gear, but they have made no impression on the scoreboard at the moment as Hay kicks to himself. Now he unloads with a long kick down towards the half-back flank, looking for Hopwood. 2-on-1 contest. Andrews and Willits were there to force the ball out of bounds. And as I said, Glenelg are just not letting Centrals get an easy run out of the fence this afternoon.
Slade came back onto the ground and is coming straight off. So certainly the problems there. The player coming on for the doggies is Cochran.
Umpire throws it in. We'll give the tap there to McKenzie. Comes back to him. He gets the quick hand pass, looking for someone to run onto it. That is Bellow. Bellow's got a runner with him. Gets the hand pass across. Butcher was drawn back to Bellow now. Central staying to run it. Bellow thought about a bounce, ran a fair way. Now it's Scholar at full forward. Sticks the mid out, can't take the mark, and the siren goes. Scholar had the ball. Probably nice Central's possible score there. And so it was a 39-point margin at half-time. It's a 39-point margin here at three-quarter time. Glenelg have kicked the ton for the 6th time this season. The Bays, 15-10-100. Central's 9-7-61.
Goal scorers thus far for the Tigers. Doldig with 4. You've got 2 there to Colpert, Willett and also Backwell. Singles to the Fritzmaker and Butcher, Nearly, and also David Mitch. Lunch and dinner from 12 till 2 and dinner from 6 until 8. So make sure you get out there. It is the place to be in the northern suburbs.
Yeah, even if the doggies get rolled today, it'll still be open.
It'll be pumping tonight. Don't worry about that. Yeah. As the umpire holds the ball off the all-important final quarter. 5 RPH game of the day, courtesy of Angus Securities. You're on RPH football with Dennis Brown.
Down it goes. Mackenzie in the ruck. Up against Cranston. The ball straight into contention once again in the centre of the Bay Oval. And gee whiz, there must be about 20 players around that ball at the moment. The umpire will move in and ball it up again. So the Tigers by 39 points going into this final quarter. Down goes the bounce. Beautiful bounce. Up it goes. Through came Quinton Graham. There's Gibbs with a handball. Gave it to Fisher. Fisher put Nearly under pressure, but he's good enough to get it back to Fisher. Fisher to Colbert. Colbert from just outside 50. Bombs it towards full forward, but offline through for the minor score. Back out to 40 points to lead. The Tigers 15-10-101. The Doggies 9-7-61.
Well, Glenelg, they've played 3 great quarters. Can they play the first 4-quarter effort of the day? It's a huge kick. Mick Shell in the centre square, almost in the circle. Quick hand passes. Mackenzie, the rover from 60, kicks towards full forward, looking for his ruck teammate in Scholar. Can't take the mark. Rogers got it to Butcher. He gets the hand pass to Panozzo, and the Bays are away with a bit of space and time. Panozzo wastes no time. He's got Willis at the half-back flank. He marks unopposed right by the boundary line. So Glenelg, they've really looked good at defence at the moment. They're holding Centrals to the lowest score Glenelg have allowed this year, and they're on track for the highest score Glenelg have kicked this season. So a big day for the Bays, but can they play the full 4 quarters and really see out a magic day for the Glenelg Football Club? Right now it's a throw-in, centre wing, outer side.
Boundary umpire to throw it in. Good play there by Fisher. The short pass was going to be intercepted by the doggy defender, but he got the fist of the ball to force that boundary throw. And the ball now in the centre. Chance for Hopwood. He'll flip it out, gives it to Arnott. Arnott with Grease Lightning, gives it to Hay. Hay's had a bounce. He'll run to 50. He can kick a soft. He's rolled from a long way out, and that's exactly what he's done. A PDK highlight. The Doggies, the first goal of the final quarter, and that's what they wanted. They go to 10 goals, 7-67. Glenelg 15-11, 101.
Yeah, Tyson Hay coming off a half-back. Ran to inside the 50 and kicked truly. And we've seen a lot of long goals kicked to that north end, because that's the end the breeze is going. The chance starting to come up from the Central supporters. What the Glenelg side needs to do now, they need to force a goal somehow. They've got a lot of players just sorting back to their position. They need to get it out of the centre square. They need to force a goal and put the run of Centrals on hold.
Umpire now going to bounce the ball. A couple of minutes gone of this, the final quarter of the Angus Securities RPH match of the day. Mackenzie gets the tap down. Central's player there can't pick him up because he's been surrounded by Tigers. And Marco Bello will hand the ball back to the umpire. All of that, they've gained about 4 metres. Umpire looks like he will bounce the ball once again. Got to say, the quality of the bouncing this afternoon has been absolutely superb as Graham gets it to Gowans. Gowans with the kick forward. Comes to Cochrane. Shows some guts to pick it up on the run. Now gets it to McKay. McKay from 68 heads it up again. Scholar the full forward. Can't quite take the mark. Well done there by Miller in defence. He gets the head. Well, Gibbs has got the hand pass back to Butcher. They're playing with it on the back pocket. Now goes forward looking. I think that's Bode out there. But Central's player, which I think is Bello, has taken the mark. He's 70 out. Wheels around quickly. Sends it back from whence he came. Not well directed. And Rogers will take the uncontested mark.
Rogers will change direction, DB.
Yes, he'll bring it out to the grandstand side to Benny Moore. Moore now into the defensive 50. Will kick from that point. Not a good kick off the boot. In fact, he's almost set it up for Hopwood, but Hopwood went the front and it ended up with Matthew Bode, who's had a couple of bounces at centre wing. He'll get onto that left boot and put it towards half forward. Dolwig from a long way out in front. Couldn't take the mark. Down the ground, taken by Hearn. Hearn now for the Doggies. Gets the kick away towards centre wing. It's going to set it up for Fisher. He's got one hand of the ball.
Well
The umpire's let it go. I can't believe that.
Well, was he blinded?
Well, I think he might have been acting because Biscuits Arnott there was the player who was involved. He just turned around and started laughing, so it might have been a little bit of a love tap.
Well, but the right hand definitely made contact with the midsection, but well done to Biscuits if that's the case when it comes to Adams. He'll go for holding the foot if he's not careful. Comes the
throw.
No, the throw has been applied according to the umpire. And it'll be a free kick to McCabe. McCabe will play on.
The momentum's starting to move with Centrals.
Yeah, and up towards full forward. The mark taken by, I think it's Officer. He got things for too high. So things starting to go the doggy's way. Officer's already stepped across the mark. He hasn't been called to play on. The kick in towards Cowan. Cowan takes the mark. Gets it back out here to Hay. Hay will go towards the boundary. And it wasn't Cowan. It was actually Osterhide. The tackle from Rogers has been a beauty. And the ball out of bounds in the left full forward pocket.
That tackle was, Tyson Hay tried to take the Tiger player on. Didn't get past him, ran out of bounds. The Tiger player attacking him. Should have been holding the ball because he had prior opportunity to get rid of the ball.
Yeah, Hay and Osterhide up forward. Go figure. Scholar, the ruckman, put up forward. He's doing his ruck duties at the moment. Taps it towards the boundary line. Bella can't get it in time. A little bit of frustration shown by the doggies at the moment. 5
minutes gone, courtesy of Grand Central.
And now the throw in at the moment. 34-point football game in favour of the home side. The Bay's looking for a hat-trick of wins. Tap comes down. Fisher's kick is blocked. Goes back straight to the pack. Coulford had and lost it. Same with Osterhide. Graham the hurried kick. Chris Gowan. And then the Glenelg player Miller busts the pack. Gowan's taken out of the contest. It'll come to Sherwood. He's got a little bit of time now to assess the situation. Weaves around Chris Gowan. Certainly Centrals at times have looked a bit slow, but Gowan's kick is marked by Shell on the half-forward flank. So Centrals getting a bit of ball at the moment, a couple of forward sorties, but haven't probably put them under scoreboard pressure. Shell's kick is an absolute shocker, and suddenly the Bays are away. There's no one inside Glenelg's forward 50 as McKenzie takes it 70 out. He goes to ground.
No question. Good umpire by decision. Good umpire.
As called by Darryl Smith. Mitchell now with the free kick. Gets the Bays going quickly. That's Bode. He's 70 out. Hand pass across to Willett inside forward 50. Has to get around Steinburner. Tries to do it with the handball. Goes past Fisher. Graham gets the soccer off the ground. Cleverly done to Steinburner on the full. He gets it to Chris Gowans. Now Central's turn to go forward once again. The high kick. The Scholar too slow.
They'll change direction.
And Sherwood took an easy mark.
They'll bring it out the grandstand.
Miller, the player, will bring it out here to the half-back flank where the ball is taken by Colford. Colford has Benny Moore further afield. That's the way the footy goes. A pinpoint pass from Colford. Down the throw to Moore, and Moore's got it centre wing grandstand side. Right in front of the 5RP8 commentary position as he bombs it towards half-forward. Up they fly. Shell from the side. Couldn't take the mark. Attempted slip back there by Willett. Couldn't be effective. Comes to Shell. He's wrapped up. Tried to get the handball away. Does get the handball away, but it only far as Willett. Bode will run onto them. He'll handball into the centre. Comes here to Cranston. He bombs a long one towards full forward, and good strength at the back there by Sivanala. Got the handball over. Came to Hearn. Hearn will kick it short. Bounces in front of the player there on Twitala. He got pushed in the back, and the umpire will bring the ball back. And the free kick will go to Adam Twitala.
Well, Bode had the ball and was off and running, so fortuitous there for Central District. Twitala now with the ball. Will kick it down field. Very close to the boundary line, beats everyone. Penoza at the back of the pack has time to pick it up. It's a high kick. Who's going to take the mark? Pack descending, and a good mark under some pressure taken by the doggies. Who kicks it backwards? The goals are this way, but it finds Shell. They've switched play. Shell now, has he got an open player? Not really. Making the ruckman work, and that's not going to work. Moore takes the mark. Suddenly the turnover. It comes to Marnie. Marnie's 45 out, not a player within Cooey. Marnie doesn't go for goal. He settles it. Great team play from the Tigers. And it's a mark, and I think that's to Mitchell.
There was great play there by Marnie. He had the open goal, but he was on a pretty acute angle, and he saw Mitchell standing there at around about 25 metres out, virtually directly in front. The kick was absolutely fantastic. Now, Mitchell has already kicked one. Will go back, and this is the kick. He has to kick this goal because Centrals are making a bit of a charge, albeit not putting any pressure on the scoreboard, but they did have a lot of the ball. But now Glenelg can just wrest that away from them. So Mitchell coming in 25 metres out, virtually directly in front, taking all the time in the world. He kicks this, you'll hear the roar go up, the kick's on its way, the goal umpire says that's okay, the Scouts now are cheering, as are all the Glenelg supporters. And so 16 goals, 11 now, 107. That's the Tigers, they leading Central's 10-7, 67. And Grand Central tells us we played 11 minutes of this final quarter. Let's quickly go back to the studio. Thanks to Black and White Trucks and Removals, let's move it right around the ground.
Thanks, Smithy. The other two games about 12 minutes into the last quarter for both. South Adelaide 17-16, 118, leading North 12-7, 79. Port 19-15, 129, leading West 12-13, 85. And in the 8-2 AFL games, Collingwood by 28 over Hawthorn, Fremantle by 9 over Geelong. Back to the boys.
It looks like we haven't got any right in the AFL, DB, but we've got them all right this time.
Okay, umpire throws the ball up in the centre. Cranston, the left-handed tap. Can the doggies bounce back? Picked up by Graham. Gets the handball over to Bello. In fact, Cochrane it was around the body. Goes up towards half forward. Again, Butcher got a fist of the ball. Bello was there to try and pick it up. Got the handball to Chris Gown. Chris Gown to Officer. Officer has the bounce. He'll run to about 25 and go bang. And he's put it through the high little for a goal to the doggies. They go to 11-7-73. They trail the Tigers 16-11, 107. Second goal to Kane Officer.
Yeah, it was the second goal too. And a quick reply by the doggies, just what they needed, but good work in the centre field by Bello to get the ball out, and Officer with his great speed ran to an open goal and kicked truly as a change is being made. And coming on for the central side is Symes, and going off is McKenzie. So McKenzie probably a little bit slow up forward. Symes hoping to use his pace as well up there. So another goal to the doggies, 11-7, 73. They still trail 16-11, 107.
Scholars versus Cranston at the ruck tap. Cranston gets the tap down for Neely, who had to go back and get it, and then Scholars sits on him, and that'll be an infringement. And Neely will take the free kick once he excavates himself from the turf there at the Glenelg Oval, right on the cricket pitch.
Tell you what, this Butcher just keeps running. Have a look, he's up at half forward again.
Not wrong. Anyway, Neely now with the kick, goes inside forward 50, large pack of players, and Mitchell just lands in his lap. Just push the opponent away, read the ball the best, and he will mark. He's going to kick from 50. Shannon Hearn is the punt on that occasion. And I mean, Centrals have played a much better second half, but only once have they kicked 2 consecutive goals. Glenelg have had all the replies so far, and they're lining up now. If he kicks this, it'll be Glenelg's highest score this season. They've played 8 games. 6 times they've got over 100.
Okay, well, Mitchell's kicked 2 thus far. He's got to kick from virtually right on 50. The breeze a little bit into his face. He's kicking to the school end, the primary school end here at the Tiger Oval. In he comes from 51 metres. The kick's on its way. Absolutely magnificent kick. Did not deviate. The umpire all did was stood there, watched the ball go over his head, and that is Mitchell's third. The Tigers have got their 17th. 17-11, 113. And Central's 11-7, 73. Has the fat lady started to sing, DB?
Not yet, Smitty.
Not yet?
Not quite yet.
Okay,
I'll tell you what, he's a solid boy, is Mitchell.
Well, they've got 2 targets up there now, Mitchell and also Doldig. So Mitchell with 3 goals, Doldig with 4. So it's been
well, we know Matty Doldig's a big boy, but I'll tell you what, Mitchell hasn't been brought up on jelly beans either. Just quietly as the ball is tapped down in the centre, comes here to Fisher. Fisher onto the left boot. He's looking there for the player there in Willits, but it rebounds off his knee. Comes now to Marnie. Marnie puts it up towards that player we're talking about in Mitchell. He'll bring it back with a handball. Tries to find Mules, I think it was, but it's intercepted by the doggies as Symes takes the ball. Gives it over here to Steinburner. He's almost caught. The ball is smothered. The Tigers are desperate. They want to win this footy match as the ball is tipped out to Bode. Bode falls over. Somehow gets the handball. The ball kicked towards full forward. The strength of the umpire's played a free kick. It's going to go the way of Hughes with Sibonala against Big Doldig. And on the last line of the fence now, Sibonala will handball. Gives it over to off to Hyde. I think it was no Hopwood it was. He gives it to Arnott. Arnott now will bring the ball towards centre wing. He's looking there for Steinburner. Backing back is Moore. But he backs up and puts the hand up, forced the error. The ball over the boundary line for a throw-in.
Yeah, great courage shown there by Moore, the captain of the side. He had to go back and force the issue. Otherwise, the central side would have taken the mark, and that player there would have been Steinburner. Great play.
Well, Glenelg looking the goods, looking for their first win over Central since 1999. That was the last year Glenelg made the finals. Meanwhile, in the play, umpire has found a free kick. Chris Downs is remonstrating with Matty Bode. Will have the free. Now he had a couple of words to say with the umpires.
Obviously something happened.
He pushed his further hammer and tack. Why would he argue?
Well, Chris Downs has not been a happy camper in this final quarter as Bode finds culprit on the short lead. Is he ever happy?
Well, yeah, I've seen him happy.
I've seen him happy grand final day.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Anyway, culprit now looking for the player on the lead. A good, strong mark, and I think that's Mitchell once again. He's marked 70 out. So too far out the score, you would think. Central's players a chance to send out. Will Glenelg run all over and maybe open up some space in track? So Mitchell now kicks. He kicks from 55, heads for the top of the goal square. Pack sets themselves. Symes comes in with a big thump. And that is a behind for the Tigers. 17-12, 114. Central's 11-7, 73. 41-point margin. Thanks to Grand Central. 12 minutes gone, final quarter.
Hearn now with the ball, gives it over to Bello. Bello with a long handball out towards half-back. The player there was, in fact, McKay. Back to Bello. Bello's kicked towards centre wing. In front, Gibbs. Oh, did it superbly. Taps the ball in front of him. He got it over to Bode with a handball. Tell you what, they got a bit of class this base side. It ended up with Nearly back to the runner in Butcher. Butcher will bang it towards centre half forward, but that's the first mistake he's made all day. He put it straight down the throat of Hay. Hay will bring it out to a half-back flank. A transfers play over to the grandstand side, where Arnott goes with a long handball now to Scholar. Scholar will give it back to Arnott. Arnott goes short now. Signs at Yeaves at Sibanala. He'll go inboard to Hopwood. Hopwood's got support from Hay. Hay now. He almost got caught. Was forced to put the handball in the air. Bode was grabbed high. He got the handball out though. Comes to Billy Nearly. Nearly will bang it back. It's 4 against 1 here. The Tigers won it. Mitchell takes a great run.
And if he hadn't taken the mark, all he do is tap it on and it would have been a bay goal anyway.
Well, the turnover very costly there, boys.
Well, it was the actual pressure placed on the Central's players that forced the turnover, because it forced the handball, as you called it, DB, to go up in the air, and then they were able to read the ball better, and it's ended up with Mitchell, and he's going to line up for his 4th goal. And as we said, he's become the 2nd target up forward for the Tigers. They've been outstanding up forward, with Doldig already kicking 4. Now Mitchell lining up for his 4th goal as well. 45-degree angle, no further than 30 metres out. Kicking to the school end again. And he looks like he's a solid boy. Comes in now, the kick's on its way, and it has just snuck through. The shocking kick off the boot, but the result is good enough for the Tigers to start clapping. He's got his 4th. The Tigers have got their 18 goals, 12-1-20. Central's 11-7. And thanks to Black and White Trucks removals, let's move it right around the ground.
Thanks, Smithy. 20 minutes in at the Prospect Oval in South. Look home. 19-16, 130 as Tucky kicks his 6th, leading North 12-7, 79. And a similar story at Broad Spectrum. Port 21-17, 143, despite 3 goals, 6 to Waterhouse, leading West 13-13, 91, 11.97 AM RPH. Back to the boys.
Well, all of those means that Glenelg will rise to equal 5th, but will be out of the 5-on percentages. Arnott intercepts the Glenelg hand pass, sends the Bulldogs back into attack, and waiting there was Scholar, couldn't take the mark. Glenelg have got some numbers, players, spins, loose hand pass. McKenzie, I think it is, comes to Ofterhide. He hasn't kicked the goal in 3 years, so he hand passes it to Cowan. Cowan snaps, and the goal umpire goes for a run, but he's got the goal. The goal-to-goal is the Centrals like it. That is the goal to the Doggies, and you can tell by the muted response that it's all too late. Centrals have kicked their 12th, 12-7, 79. The Bays, 18-12, 100. The margin back to 41 points.
Well, they haven't given up, and you wouldn't expect the Central side to give up, but it's all too late. They've just been made to play second-rate football today. The Tigers have just been too good all over the ground.
No doubt about that, Smitty, and they've continued into this last quarter. 3 goals to both sides. The 3 goals, of course, all coming off the boot of Mitchell for the Tigers. And for the Doggies, Cowan, Officer and Hay. The ball in the centre. The ball out the centre wing. Immediately taken by Hay. Gets past Panozzo. Puts the ball on the left boot. It's a long kick inside the 50. Big McKenzie there. Can he get the handball over? Does so to Officer. Officer turns around. Chips it short. He's looking there for Cochran. The ball picked up by Cochran. Bangs it towards full forward. I think it's another goal. No, he's just offline for the minor score to the Doggies. They go to 12 goals, 8-80. They trail the Tigers 18-12, 120, back to that 40-point margin.
Well, the thing you feel is going out of this game now. Glenelg are home and hosed. They will win 3 games in a row. They did it right at the end of 2004 when the season was well and truly over in terms of finals possibilities. But this will launch Glenelg and make them a contender. And now 7 teams fighting for 5 spots. You'd say probably Norwood and West out of the running. But after that, gee, what a great season we're going to have ahead of us here. From the tap in, McKenzie doing some great work. It comes, I think, to Swatala. Swatala right by the boundary, snaps it back, but not far enough. That is out of bounds on the full. And Butcher will relieve the pressure.
We'll give you the road ahead for both these games in a short while and see what's coming up. We know that Centrals do play Norwood next week on the Sunday. That Sunday, that's the 5 RPH game of the round.
Ball kicked down towards half-back. Up they fly through the hands of Willits at the bottom of the pack. The ball flipped out. The Tigers will go forward up towards the centre wing. It's one-on-one there. In front was Bode. At the back was Hay. Taken by the doggies. Hearn. He got it over to Steinburner. Steinburner into the centre. The bounce didn't favour the doggies. Trying to come through. It was Officer. He was tackled. And the ball to the ground. The umpire will ball it up right in the true centre-half forward position, right on the 50s.
The road ahead for Centrals. They travel to Parade next Sunday, our game. And then it's third at NAP and south at Noarlunga.
Okay, the bounce down ended up with Cochrane. Cochrane out there to Swatala. Swatala with a drop punt towards full forward at the back.
Numbers
taken
again.
by Sherwood, who was off, I thought. And the umpire said, no, you weren't. Well, I think he was.
Oh, no doubt about he was off.
He was off, and the umpire...
How many steps do you give him?
You only have to take one.
You only have to take one.
Yeah, but he's running in a forward direction to take a mark. He can't stop on a 10-cent piece.
He was off. Trust me, he was off. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The kick now towards half-back. Cranston in front, Cowan at the back. Cranston's second grab takes the mark and will go back and kick the Tigers forward from half-back on the grandstand side for the Tigers.
Well, Cranston, there, you're quite right, DB, half-back flank. What a great day it's been for the Glenelg faithful, especially those that have made the effort. Big celebrations early and all, and it's going to be a big celebration tonight. Marnie pushed in the back. In fact, the free is going to Willits.
Pushed in the back.
And he has been impressive in just his third game at SANFL level. He'll find culprit. Marks unopposed at the 50. Now comes about and on the lead. It's beautiful football from the Bays. They attack so well now. And this will be another shot on goal. Trying to pick it is Matthew Doldig. Angle will not be an issue. He'll kick from 40. How many goals has he kicked today, Smithy?
He has kicked 4, lining up for a beehive, directly in front, 45 metres out. And this is the final nail in the coffin as he comes in. He's kicked through the ball. We love to see that on 5 RPH football. That's his fifth. And the Glenelg side have got their 19th. 19 goals, 12, 126. Centrals 12 goals, 8, 80, 46 points in favour of the Tigers, and they are doing it at will.
Glenelg's road ahead. Big challenge next week. They travel to Woodville to take on the Eagles. Then on Queen's birthday Monday, they host West here at Glenelg before taking on Port at Alberton.
A couple of big games coming up for the Tigers.
Well, that one,
2 of those 3.
That one at Port at Alberton may well decide 5th place.
Yeah, I'm saying if they can win 2 of those 3, that would be enough, I think, just about to make them sure of a spot to 5.
Down goes the bounce. Andrews in there for the Tigers. Also there was Gowans. End up with the culprit. He hadn't been their worst player either. Just quietly handballs it out to Moore, but the bounce doesn't favour him. Kicked off the ground by Arnold, I think. Up inside the 50 for the Doggies. Running to it is Cochrane. Can he pick it up? Oh, great pick up with the right one hand. He's forced out over the boundary line, though, and there'll be a boundary throw in right on the 50-metre mark, or just inside it for the Doggies. They're kicking to the... What end are they kicking to, boys?
You couldn't script the Jetty Road. If you look behind the goals, it says Jetty Road Glenelg, so just call it that in.
Okay. The umpire to throw the ball back in. Trying to think of something smart, but I couldn't think of anything. The ball comes back, up they go. The ball tapped forward there by Mackenzie, taken there by Gowan, who put the left hand up in his opponent's face. I thought there was a no-no. Ended up with Panozzo. Panozzo to Jack Horan. He'll kick it up here to Willett. There
they go again. They got the runners.
Billy Neely now to the lead there of Marnie in front. Takes the mark. He's a good player, this kid. I like him, Josh Marnie, no doubt about it. He'll go bang with a handball to Neely. Neely's got a player loose at half forward. That's the way it goes. And looking for big Mitchell. Mitchell thought about the handball, then had a second attempt, but he missed his target as in comes Officer. He's going to get caught with the foot if he's not careful. Tackled by Backwell. For being grabbed too high. But it's all too late, she tried. As the ball will be taken by Officer at half-back on the grandstand side.
46-point margin. Glenelg on their way to their biggest win of the season, both in terms of scalp and margin. And 25 metres, well, doesn't really mean a lot, and that's a fairly big 25.
You'll like to be buying land off him, I
reckon that one might be the 5-0 variety. Anyway, Officer now will kick from centre wing, and there's a bit more. Well, yeah, as I said, pretty inconsequential at the moment, thanks to Grand Central. We've gone into time on of the final quarter.
If I was back, well, I wouldn't be running down there. Because
just put someone else on the mark.
I think by the rules he has to actually come back and stand the mark.
Why is that?
He's the one that's given away the free kick.
Well, how come Sherwood?
Well, yeah, but he's got to go back to the mark. And then he's got to go back to the mark, and then someone else comes and come on. Okay, the player who's got the ball is Kane Officer. He's going to have a shot on goal now and kicks truly for his 3rd goal. He now becomes the leading goal kicker for Centrals. Centrals have got their 13 goals, 8, 86. And then you've got the Tigers now 19, 12, 126. Still 40 points in favour of the Tigers. And DB, you were going to say something there?
No, I was just saying both guys have kicked 4 goals each in this final quarter, so
Okay.
they've matched it right.
No, but the rule there is if back was actually going to go back with the umpire, and then once he gets to the mark, then someone else can come and
Well,
take
they
the
should
mark.
change that rule because it entices the player to give the umpire a bit of back chat, I reckon.
Come on, we're giving him a bit of back chat anyway.
Umpire with the ball in the centre, bounces it down.
Umpires don't talk to players either?
Well, of course they do. I used to. Down it goes in the centre, taken there by Bode. He lost the ball to momentarily to Bello. The ball still in contention. Oh, Bode's got it, tries to get the handball away, pulled to the ground there, and there'll be a bounce down in the centre.
Jack Hilton was one of the best umpires, and Peter Mead was another one. They'd sit and you'd be having a mouthful of that. They'd come back at you 100 mile an hour and say, well, why don't you worry about getting a kick?
Yeah, well,
things like that. And then all of a sudden
right.
it stops.
Exactly. Down goes the bounce. Up they go, in front. A backhand is attempted by Graham. Came down to nearly around the body. Up here towards Backwell. Backwell in front of Steinburner. He couldn't take the mark, though. At the back of the front here, there's the first Backwell. He was not there for the umpire. Different umpire that he gave the lift to, of course. And it's going to be Backwell now with the kick at centre wing, grandstand side for the Tigers. He'll go onto the right boot and put it up towards the inside the 50 and back up they go. Oh, up in front with another mark to, I don't know whether it's Mitchell,
yep.
And he's got a chance to boot 5. And
They're not the easiest people to tell apart, are they?
They're very similar build, and they play similar style too. They both present themselves very well. This time Mitchell took a pack mark, and he's going to go back now and kick from around about 35 to 40 metres out, 45-degree angle. And this game is all over, and the Tigers are going to certainly celebrate their victory here tonight. One would suggest as Mitchell comes in for a beehive. He's already kicked 4, and up until today he had kicked 20 goals. So he's added to 4 today to 24 goals for the season thus far. So Mitchell coming in. And this will certainly be the death knell of the Central side as he comes in now. The shot got a beautiful kick by Mitchell. He's got his 5th goal. And so that's 2 forwards up there for the Tigers who kicked 5 goals each. That's Doldig and Mitchell. But a good pleasing aspect there, DB, was the fact he took a strong pack mark and there was 2 players around him couldn't spoil him.
Yeah, exactly right. 4 goals he's kicked in this last quarter. And, 10 goals between the two forwards. I mean, as long as they can go keep going with those 2 players up forward, they're going to be hard to beat. Because, if you've got one player, it's hard enough to match up when you seek him out, coming forward. But if you've got 2, tell you what, it makes it difficult for the opposition.
Umpire throws it up. Comes down now, Central's through. Chris Gowans gets the hurry kick away under pressure. Running onto it now, the Tigers should have the numbers. Cochran putting some pressure. I think that's young Horan who's trying to go for the ball. He dives on and scores the try. Over the boundary line, will be thrown in half-forward flank. It's
so important, DB, you say you have 2 players that can kick you 10 goals. You're going to win most games. I remember playing a game against for Sturt, and Davies was full forward. I was forward pocket, and Davies said, we have to kick 10 goals between us to win the game. We did.
He kicked 10.
He kicked 10. Correct, right.
Fisher now gets the kick away. Comes now, Cowan has an easy hit. Hard by Colfer. Comes loose to Bode. Bode to Willits. Willits 80 out. Heads towards the hot spot. It's the Mitchell Bulldog show, but on this occasion, Stephen Arlo is able to break free. He marks. He slips. He gets back up again. Shannon Hearn's broken free. He takes the mark defensive 50. Central Districts are now away. The kick, it's a long kick for Simons. Has to run onto it. Going to need a good bounce, doesn't get it. Boundary line beats him, but a huge kick from Hearn from defensive 50 almost to attacking 50 for Centrals. And the Bays 20-12-132. They kicked 21 goals against North, second last game of last year. This is by far their best effort, biggest win this season. As the throw-in comes down. Tap, I think, there from Graham at the bottom of the pack. Centrals have got it. That's Gowans with the kick. Heads towards Mackenzie. Oh, Scholar at the back of the pack. Can he play Rover and pick it up? He does it at ankle level and passes it forward. Almost takes out the behind post. That's a behind to the Bulldogs. They're 39-87. Glenelg 20-12-132.
Another thing there of PDK highlight was that the Glenelg side got the players back there again. Often you'd certainly give yourself up there because you think that Scholar's going to kick the goal. Tell you what, Tigers got their back in numbers.
Peter Simmons has got this side playing good footy.
They're doing very well.
In every department, as Miller's got the footy now, he'll chip it short or put it up high for Gibb, but I tell you what, he's a good young player, this kid. He still took the mark despite the pressure as he will now kick the ball out of the defensive 50 towards the centre wing. Players set themselves. Oh, Cowan went up high, but didn't do much as it came down to Chris Gowans. He got the handball over to a teammate who kicked it up to the 50, and out comes Buckets McKenzie and takes the mark. No problems with him making the distance from the 50, Darryl Smith.
No, certainly not. And Buckets McKenzie has presented himself up for it pretty well today. He's already kicked a goal and had a hand in another one. So McKenzie virtually right from about 55 metres out, directly in front, kicking to the Jetty Road end, which is aided by the breeze. The kick's on its way. Certainly going to make the distance. Is it going to have the accuracy? No, it's not. So another minus score to the Doggies. 13 goals, 10, 88. They still trail the Tigers 20 goals, 12, 132. Grand Central tells us we played 5 minutes of the time on in this final quarter as the ball comes to grandstand side. As the silence down, and what a great victory to the Tigers. 20 goals, 12, 132. They have defeated Central 13 goals, 10, 88. And by my recollections, that is a 44-point victory to the Tigers. They did lead by 25 points at quarter time, 39 at half-time and 39 again at three-quarter time, and winning by 44 points at the end of the day. Goal scorers for the Tigers has got two players up for the kick five. Mitchell and Goldie, the twins up there kicking 5 apiece. To the Backwell, also to the Culprit, and to the Willet. Singles there to Ryan Andrews. Also, Bryce Gibbs chipping in with one, William Neely with one, and also the Fritz maker in Troy Butcher kicking a goal as well. For Central, 3 goals to Kate Officer, 2 there to Luke Cowan, Daniel Shell, and also Matthew Slade, and singles there to Tyson Hay, also Luke McCabe, Jason McKenzie, and also Quinton Graham with singles. Final scores here at the Bay. It has been a victory to the Tigers, 20 goals, 12, 132, defeating Central's 13, 10, 88. We'll go back to the studio courtesy of Black and White Trucks and Removals. Let's move it right around the ground.
Thanks, Jimmy. And final scores in the other two games as well at Prospect. South Adelaide kicked